Oh, you can do better than that. All right. Now, brighten up. I got some news for you about Bo and Dee Dee.
Oh, did you hear from them?
Oh, better than that. Well, I was at the office earlier.
Yeah?
Oh, thank goodness you're both here.
What is it?
Asa, he just collapsed at the hospital.
Oh, I must say it's good to be back. Normally, I would hate business trips, but in this case, when it was in Rio de Janeiro, there were some compensations. Would you like a drink?
No, thanks. I'm glad you're home. So much has happened since you were gone.
Yes, indeed. I wish you had called me about that explosion at Landfair. I would have come hurrying home.
Well, it was nothing important. I figured since everybody was all right, there was no need to call you.
Oh, still, could have been killed when I just think of it.
Well, don't think about it. We're all very lucky.
And what about Asa? Are you sure that he's all right?
Yes, he'll be fine. He'll be out of the hospital in a day or two.
I'm telling you, if anything serious had happened to you or to Asa, oh, I would never have forgiven Tina. I'd have killed her. For sure.
Well, you know, it wasn't Tina's fault. I mean, Tracy James was the one who planted that bomb.
Oh, come on. It wouldn't have happened if Tina hadn't been foaming at the mouth, trying to gain instant social status. Imagine the nerve of the girl, throwing a welcoming home party for a true blue blood like Richard Abbott, without waiting for me to come home. Oh, well, I want you to sit down and tell me about all the exciting things that have been happening in Llanview while I've been away.
Why is it so impossible for this office to accept my client?
It is a matter for the courts, not the district attorney.
No, you deal with the law, don't you? All we're talking about here is simple justice.
It is not my function to enter into family disputes.
Look, we're talking about personal property here. That box is mine, and it was stolen.
It was legally confiscated, Tina. That hardly qualifies as theft.
The police had no right to take it out of Landfair.
Just what do you expect me to do?
Well, for starters, I think you ought to fire Ed Hall as police chief.
Wonderful. Why don't you write a note to the commissioner here?
Look, if you can't do that, the least thing you could do is go and get that box and return it to me.
I'm going to say it one more time, Tina, so please open both your brain cells and listen.
Oh, no, I really don't think we have to be insulting
Oh,
here.
well, you're right. I'm sorry. It's just that I've got a couple of other things to do rather than stand here all day. Look, the matter cannot be settled unless one of two things happens. A, you take it before a judge, or B, you settle it among yourself. Now, can you grasp that?
What I don't grasp is that that box was found at Landfair, and Landfair belongs to me. Look, Herb, I am the only person with any real claim to this. And I am convinced that inside that box is a present from my father to me. So why don't we just have it opened, all right? And then we can see what Vicky has to say.
Yeah, Vicky is not the only person with a claim, or have you forgotten about Dorian?
Angela, how is Mr. Buchanan doing?
Resting quietly. Dr. Morgan was in to check on him a few minutes ago.
Yes, I talked with him. I don't understand what caused this collapse.
Didn't Dr. Morgan tell you?
Well, he told me about your theory that Mr. Buchanan was given the wrong kind of medication by Dr. Hall.
Well, I'm convinced of it.
Angela, Dr. Hall is a very competent young man, and frankly, I think it's dangerous for you to spread that kind of rumor. It doesn't speak very well for you either.
Well, excuse me, Dr. Wallach, but I also happen to be a professional, and I resent the inference that I'm some sort of a gossip.
See, can you back up your claims?
Well, I happen to have been standing right outside the door when Dr. Hall was inside the room giving Mr. Buchanan his medication. You should have heard the abuse.
Well, Mr. Buchanan treats everybody that way.
No, I'm not talking about the patient. I'm talking about Josh Hall.
Dr. Hall, what did he say?
Oh, he said he was sick and tired of being treated like some flake of dandruff. Then he practically forced the medication on Mr. Buchanan and told him if he got sick again to call someone else.
All right. Not exactly a shining example of bedside manner, but it's quite a jump from there to accusing a doctor of administering the wrong medication. I'm surprised you're even reporting this.
I play my job by the book, Dr. Wallach. And if there's the slightest indication that a patient has suffered because of some physician's highly charged state of emotion...
Take it easy, Angela. You're beginning to sound like the witness for the prosecution. I know you're a very capable nurse, and I'm sure you're doing what you think is best for everybody. However, I do think you're just a little overzealous.
I'm thinking about Mr. Buchanan.
Mr. Buchanan is fine. His vital signs are fine. He's fine.
His pupils are dilated. How do you explain that?
Oh, Angela, there are any number of reasons for that, and I will discuss it with Dr. Morgan, and I will certainly contact you at another date.
I didn't want to tell you about this, Dr. Wallach, but since you won't take me seriously, Josh had been drinking before he went in there.
How do you know that?
I could smell the the liquor on his breath, and when I asked him about it, he told me to shove off. It was shortly after that Mr. Buchanan collapsed.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for reporting it.
Sorry I had to, but it is my job.
Yeah, Dr. Wolek, I want you to have Dr. Hall paged. I want him to meet me out. Have him meet me in front of Mr. Buchanan's room. Thank you.
Asa collapsed? What happened? I walked in and found him lying unconscious on the floor. Apparently, a doctor had been drinking and gave him the wrong medication.
Well,
now, it seems that he's all right now. I mean, he's not in a coma or anything. It's just that when I saw him lying there on the floor, I was so frightened.
what was the medication?
I don't know. I don't even know if it was the wrong medication. That's what the nurse said.
Well, what about the doctors?
Dr. Morgan examined, gave him a whole slew of tests, and I didn't leave, of course, until I was sure he was in stable condition. He was sleeping when I left.
You said the doctor that gave him the medication was drunk. That couldn't have been Dr. Morgan.
Well, no, that was Josh Hall. But please, I'm not even sure I've got that straight. I mean, that's what the nurse said, that he was drunk. And then she ran out and got another doctor, and then everything just happened so fast.
I'm going to get over there right away.
Wait, maybe I should go with you.
No, we're probably not going to be able to see him anyway. I just want to have a talk with Larry and try and get to the bottom of this. I'll tell you one thing. If this is a case of negligence, I'm going to have somebody's hide.
You sure that Ace is all right?
Well, he said that he just needed some rest. Listen, I mean, I'm very sorry to upset you. God, talk about being upset.
Oh, come
with me.
on. That's normal.
I'm so great during a crisis, and now it's all over, and I'm just shaking like a leaf.
I know. It's always the thought of what could have happened. You really do love him, don't you?
Well, more than I thought, if that's humanly possible. Oh, Vicki, I know he's bossy, and he's grouchy, and he's, I don't know, messy, he's unbearable. The truth is, right now, Vicki, I swear, I really don't know if I could live without him.
I'm having a hard time getting used to the idea of Brad Vernon as a selfless person.
You can't
dear.
think of him as Brad Vernon.
Oh, that's right, that's right. I have to think of him now as Bud Van Dyke, horseflesh peddler. Yes, that does sound more like Brad.
Don't knock him, Mom. He's done an incredible thing.
All right. How long has he been staying at the Waterside Inn?
I would say about a week or so. He came back as soon as he saw the pictures of David and Jenny that Asa was running in all the papers.
All right, I concede that perhaps Brad has done something wonderful for once in his life. What about you? How are you involved in this? Honey, if you're into anything dangerous, remember what happened? Yes, Emma?
Excuse me, ma'am. Mr. Richard Abbott to see you.
Oh, really? Indeed.
You remember me, don't you, Dorian?
Of course I do, Richard. I just heard from Cassie that you're back in town.
Well, I thought I'd surprise you. The studio told me you were due back this afternoon.
And I've barely had time to catch my breath. But still, it is good to see you. Please sit down, won't you? I understand that you know my daughter, Cassie.
It's good to see you, Cassie.
Same here.
My apologies for not calling first. Normally, I would have invited you to lunch, but frankly, I'm here for a story.
A story? From me? I don't know what the story would be about unless you want to hear the latest gossip from Rio.
Well, I want to do a lead on what's inside the metal box. Now, if it's too personal, you have my word that I won't print it. That's why I came here myself instead of sending a reporter.
What middle box?
I didn't have a chance to tell her about it yet, Richard.
Tell me what?
Well, the explosion at Landfair. There was a brick wall that was demolished in the secret room.
Yeah, and behind the wall was a metal box. It had been deliberately sealed away by Victor Lord. Now, Vicky and Tina have been fighting over its possession ever since.
It still hasn't been opened yet?
No, the police have taken it into custody until some kind of a decision could be reached.
I see.
I figured since you were Victor's widow...
I have absolutely no idea what could be in that middle box. After all, I didn't even know about the secret room until Victor had long been dead. What is it, Emma?
Ma'am, a phone call for Mr. Abbott.
Oh, I left your number with the City Hall. I hope you don't mind.
I don't mind at all. Emma, please show Mr. Abbott to another room where he can use the phone.
Thanks.
Are you all right, ma'am?
Yes, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. I'm just a bit surprised, that's all. Seems as though Victor never seems to run out of ways to liven things up, does he? Sweetie pie, listen, would you mind going to get me a couple of aspirin, please?
Sure.
I seem to feel I have a headache.
Sure.
Oh, who knows?
Victor Lord speaking. June 16th, 1976. This is my last will and testament to supersede any previous one in existence. I would have written it out, except that I am no longer strong enough. I wish my entire estate to go to my daughter, Victoria Lord Riley, except for $1, which is my bequest to my widow, Dorian Kramer Lord. I wish to leave her to leave Lanfair the same as she entered, without a cent. If I could deny her the Lord name itself, I would. This concludes my last will and testament.
There can't be another copy of the tape in that box. Oh, but that would be just like Victor, wouldn't it? Oh, Victor. When will you get out of my life? You okay? Yeah. Thank you very much, sweetheart.
You just seem a little shaky to me, that's all.
No, I'm fine. You know, it's just a little headache. It's half gone. Well, I'm very glad that you're back, Rich, because I wanted to ask you some more about this mysterious box. Why in the world are Vicky and Tina fighting about it when it hasn't even been opened yet?
Well, Vicky wants it buried and forgotten, but Tina's convinced that it contains some sort of wonderfully appropriate gift from her father.
Such as what? A copy of How to Win Friends and Influence People?
She's serious. She's obsessed with the idea that Victor wanted to make up for all the wrongs he did in his life.
And what does Vicky think?
Well, Vicky's blown apart by Victor's past. I guess she's afraid of finding out more secrets.
I have to agree with Vicky. She and Clint have suffered enough already. I think the contents of the box should be destroyed.
Are you serious?
Yes. Besides, she has her hands full just trying to get Landfair back. Why do you seem surprised?
I just never remembered you siding with Vicky.
Well, you don't know what my mother's been through with Tina. Still, Mom, you don't know what's in that box.
And you have no idea of what could be in it.
None whatsoever.
Well, what if it's some kind of a priceless gem that Victor left just for you?
Sweetheart, Victor was more than generous to me in his will. Besides, why should I be greedy when it might possibly do more harm to Vicky?
Well, the three of you could examine the contents in total privacy and then make your decision.
No, by then it would be too late, because if you see if the box contained something that would be harmful to Vicky, Tina would be the last person in the world who should be trusted. Excuse me, you two. I have to go see her. This must seem terribly, terribly rude, but you seem to know each other anyway. Get better acquainted. I'll have Emma bring in some tea. The rest will be up to you. All right, Cassie, darling, call her, will you? Tell him I'm on my way. Emma!
Why are you still in town? I thought you'd left for Baltimore.
I can't go back. Something came up. Cassie got involved. I have to see it played out, make sure she doesn't get hurt.
Why, is she in danger?
I don't know yet. She ran into some guy at the Vernon Inn that claims he ran into David and Jenny.
Are they blown their cover?
No, he met them as Mr. and Mrs. Brad Vernon, but the whole thing sounds a little suspect.
Well, where did he say that he ran into him?
South of France, somewhere around Cannes. He said they ran into each other, had a nice little chat. And then when he arrived here, he wondered if there was any connection between them and the Vernon Inn.
Well, that doesn't sound so strange. I mean, if it's true, at least Cassie knows that her father and Jenny are all right.
Yeah, well, the strange thing is the way he just happened to connect with Cassie.
What's this guy's name?
Craig Stone. Mean anything?
No.
He claims he's an antique dealer and left to stay in town long enough to check it out. What are you smiling about?
Well, I don't want any kind of trouble or anything, but I hope it takes a long, long time.
Yeah, well, I don't want to leave either, sweetheart, but we're going to have to be more careful than ever, you know.
I know, that phone call almost blew everything.
Yeah, well, I kind of panicked when Joyce started clowning around.
Well, no, you had no choice but to hang up. I mean, if anything, I acted really suspicious. She's been asking me about this married man, you know. What is he like? Where does he live? And now that Dee Dee's in town, things are going to be tougher than ever. Hey, they're my sisters. They're family. If anything ever happens, though, I know they'd cover for me.
I'd rather nothing happen, okay?
I can't even look them in the eye without getting a guilty face.
You can never tell them about us. Not now, not ever.
You don't know what it's like to have sisters. I mean, they have their little ways
Will
of
you
finding
listen to
things
me?
out.
I didn't give up my identity, my future, my whole damn life for you to blow it talking some girl talk with your sisters.
Relax, Brad. Nothing is going to happen.
I'm sorry. Look, I know what you're up against. But David and Jenny's lives depend on me. I can't take any chances. You could be in danger yourself. I'm sorry.
It's just that you've done so much for this other woman, and I just wonder if you and I will ever have a life together.
You know, you can explain this till you are blue in the face. I still don't see how Dorian has any claim to landfare or anything that is in it.
She's Victor Lord's widow.
So she got her full bequests already. Look, Victor stated very clearly that everything should go to Vicky unless she should become Nikki, right? Which happened, right? So that means everything there is mine. Everything in landfare, and that includes that box. So why don't you just get on the phone and call the police?
I'll take... What? Ah, Maggie, I'm glad you're here.
I could hear the shouting down the hall.
Yeah, maybe you can make Miss Lord understand that the matter of the metal box is police business and not the district attorney's.
Tina, I already told you that this morning.
I know, but you said you'd help me, right?
You what?
Don't get out of joint, Herb. I just offered her a list of lawyers. That's it.
What are you talking? She'd be throwing her money away.
Well, that's what I felt, too. But I've given it a lot more thought.
You changed your mind?
Yes, I believe that you have some claims, that you have some certain claims that you have a right to argue.
Really? What grounds?
Tina is living in landfare. She's in possession of every stick of furniture in that house. Now, why can't that box come into the same category as the drapes and the sofas?
Do I have to remind you that the ownership of landfare is in litigation until that's settled? Tina is nothing more than a squatter?
Even if ownership is temporary, she still has some grounds to at least get the box opened.
That's it, Herb. I have had it. I have heard enough. Now I want you to get on that phone and call the police and get that box back to me right now.
Oh, you do. Anything else you'd like?
Maggie says I have certain rights.
Maggie is not the district attorney in this county.
Well, you are just like everybody else, aren't you? You're against me like everybody.
Here we go again. Violins, please.
Look, I don't want any sympathy. I just want what is rightfully mine. And I am tired of dealing with a district attorney who is so obviously prejudiced.
I am on the side of the law, Tina, the law. Did you ever hear of that?
Look, you are protecting Vicky and Clinton. If you don't step aside on this, I'm going to have to sue this state for conflict of interest, and that means your job.
Don't you wish you had that kind of clout?
Well, she's got a point there, Herb.
She hasn't a leg to stand on, and you of all people ought to know it. Don't we have enough headaches around here without you drumming up some more?
Look, I didn't
Yeah,
mean...
never mind. We'll talk about it later. Yeah. Yeah, I'll take it.
Hi, baby.
Hi, Dad. Mom wanted me to call you and tell you that she's stopping by the office to talk to you about the metal box.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
There was no way I could stop her, you know, Mom.
No. It's all right, honey. Thanks for calling. Look, I've got to go. I'll see you soon, huh?
Okay.
Just what I need. I should have known. Now Dorian's on her way over to throw her 2 cents in.
Dorian, oh, isn't that great? No, but you wouldn't listen, would you?
Yeah, Tina, could you keep quiet for just half a second? I can't think straight anymore, right? Thank you. Judy, get Victoria Buchanan on the phone right away.
Larry, what the hell is going on?
Take it easy, Clint. Everything's fine. It's just a bit of a mix-up.
A bit of a mix-up? My father gets the wrong medication. You call it a bit of a mix-up? He could have died.
Well, the point is he didn't. Now, we were trying to get to the bottom of this. As a matter of fact, we'll do that right now.
Well, Mr. Buchanan, Larry, you asked to see me?
Yes, I did. What medication did you give Mr. Buchanan?
See, Nurse Angela's been talking
Just
to you,
answer
too,
the
huh?
question, Josh.
I gave him diazepam in the same controlled dose he's been getting since he arrived.
Are you sure about that?
Of course I'm sure. I've been talking to Dr. Morgan all day about it.
Were you drinking?
Oh, come on, Larry, give me a break.
Angela said she smelled liquor on your breath.
I had one drink during lunch. That was all.
You know the rules.
Yeah, it was against my better judgment. I was having a lousy day. Asa, Mr. Buchanan was riding over me like a steamroller, and Bart Barron had a blowout with me.
You always jump in a bottle when the day gets a little rough on you? Is that it?
No way. I went to the Vernon Inn. I met Rob Cornell. He was into celebrating. He put a drink in my hand. And like that, I
See, your hand had no mind of its own, is that it?
Okay, I gave in. I'm sorry, but that was the end of it. My judgment was definitely not impaired. That will never happen again, and it nothing would be up here now. Nothing would be going on right now if a certain robot who called herself a nurse hadn't said anything.
That and the fact that my father collapsed.
Look, Mr. Buchanan.
Oh, I don't want to hear your 10-cent excuses. Larry, I want to know what the hell's being done for my father. Now, have you run any tests? Are you sure that it was diazepam this doctor gave him, or was it something else?
We are running tests. We'll get the results. There's nothing to worry about. I can't quite say the same for you, Dr. Hall, especially if other substances were found in Mr. Buchanan's system.
No way. I know exactly what I gave him and how much.
Look, I can understand why a fella might take a couple drinks when the day gets a little rough. I've done it myself. But there's a difference here. When you make a mistake, you can kill somebody.
I did not make a mistake. I did not make a mistake. I know that I should have kept my feelings in check. And I'll never do it again. I'll know better next time. I'd like to get back to my rounds, please.
Yes. You better be right about this, Doctor. Because if you're not, you're going to be in one hell of a lot of trouble.
My dad always taught us to focus on something and go for it. I'm just not used to living my life day by day like this.
Okay, the way I see it, we have one of two choices. We could either sit here and moan, or we could try and make the best of it. Now, I made you the best offer you're going to have all afternoon. Is it yes or no?
Okay, I'll go with you to the track. It'll probably be fun.
All right, that's more like it.
Bud.
Hi, Stella. I didn't know you were still here.
Yeah, I decided to hold on to my room for a while.
Stella, Connie, this is Stella.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Have you known Bud long?
Yep, you could say that.
Hold on to him. He's a real friend in need.
Yeah, Stella and I met recently. She was sitting here in the lobby looking, well, kind of upset.
Kind of. I'd still be bawling my eyes out if it wasn't for Bud. I'd just been dropped by my so-called boyfriend, and Bud was kind enough to hear me out.
Well, good old Bud Van Dyke's shoulder.
Yeah, just doing what I can. You feeling better now?
No. But I didn't come over to ask for another handkerchief. I just wanted to say hello and thanks again. I didn't mean to interrupt anything.
Oh, no. Don't be silly. Bud and I were just on our way out anyway. But maybe we'll have another time, time to talk.
Yeah, well, we better hurry. We're heading to Baltimore. My horse is running in the 8th race. We have to arrange for a helicopter to pick us up.
Oh, you're traveling in style, huh? Yeah, I used to go to the track like that, too, with my former friend. And, oh, as a matter of fact, his horse is running in the 8th race, too.
What's the horse's name?
Doesn't matter. I'd rather forget this guy and his horses. Let's just hope that yours is the winner.
Well, I think she will. It's an easy field. The Lucky Opal should run away with it.
Lucky Opal, huh?
Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Thanks.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you, too. Hope to see you soon. Lucky Opal. Too bad she won't win. Nobody ever wins against Bart's horses. Hey, why not take advantage of that little-known fact? Let Mr. Bart Barron do something for you for a change.
Thank you, darling. Yes. Well, please let us know as soon as you hear anything, will you? Yes, I love you, too. Bye. Well, there's nothing new to report, but apparently Ace is going to be up and around and bossing people around in no time.
I swear it's the fight in him that keeps him going, isn't it?
Have you only just figured that out?
Oh, boy, have I learned a lot since I got to Lambview, especially spending so much time with Ace in the hospital.
You didn't see much of Jeb Stewart there, though, did you?
I have quit trying to put Asa into a mold, especially Jeb's. I think that was the big mistake I made when I first came here.
Pamela, do you really think that you can find the Asa that you're looking for? Or are you kidding yourself?
You know, Vicki, I keep saying that I haven't seen the man that I used to know, but he hasn't seen me either. I mean, the woman that he used to know. Because I have been so angry and so hurt and so confused and so trying to get back at him. Both of us have lost sight of the incredible happiness we had for those 10 long years. But the good thing is we've begun to laugh again.
Is that enough?
No, not really. But I have a dream that I'm going to bring together the best of Jeb Stewart and the best of Asa. And I know if I'm going to have to do an awful lot if I'm going to accomplish that.
You will, if you're that determined. You will. Excuse me. Hello?
Vicki, it's Herb. Can you get down here to my office as soon as possible?
Why, what's wrong?
I am up to my Ears in this metal box thing. Tina's here kicking up a storm. Now Dorian's on her way over. I would like to settle this once and for all.
All right, will you try and hold them off until I get there? I'll be right down, okay? Thanks, bye.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
You haven't changed your mind about the story, have you?
What story? Well, there isn't any until I have some kind of proof your father's still alive.
Yeah, but you're still investigating.
If you know for a fact that David Rinaldi is dead, what difference does it make whether I investigate it or not?
Because the more you investigate, the more people will pry into his past. I respect my father's memory. Let him rest in peace, okay?
Look, Cassie, I know how torn up you still are about all this. But the fact that your father betrayed his country has no bearing on anything. I mean, the story was done months ago by the papers.
Well, why should it be dragged out again?
Look, I think there's something you haven't been telling me. Are you sure you've told me everything?
A few minutes ago, you were telling me how impressed you were at my sensitivity, and now you think I'm lying.
No, I didn't mean that at all. Look, I promise you I will keep a lid on this story. For now. But if I find there's more to it, then
There isn't anything more to it. Just forget it. Can't we change the subject?
How much longer am I supposed to wait here? Look, I was right, wasn't I? You are on Vicky and Clint's side, aren't you? I mean, anything to protect the wonderful Buchanans.
Maybe you don't understand, but Herb obviously feels that the only way out of this impasse is for you and Dorian and Vicky to face each other and come to some kind of agreement.
What, is he into cat fights? Because that's all he's going to get out of it.
Not if you wake up and start cooperating.
What, the law is on my side. Even your assistant agrees with me.
Mr. Larkin is entitled to her opinion.
Well, there must be some legal precedent to back up her claims.
Now, listen, May, your opinion is one thing. Using the district attorney's office to bend rules for friends is something else.
Well, I didn't mean...
Well, I'm not sure what you meant, but I would like to know where you stand.
You know, my first loyalty is to the law. You know that, Herb.
I'm so glad to have overheard that, because in this case, the law happens to be on my side. I'm here to claim my box.
What did your mother mean when she said we had so much in common?
Well, don't panic, but my mother sees son-in-law written all over you.
Panic? I'm flattered.
Well, I've got to let you know that every time my mother tries to fix me up and she makes some kind of devious plan, I tend to run the other way. Like with my ex-husband, Rob. I don't think if she had opposed him so violently, maybe I would have never married him.
Well, you did marry him, and it didn't work out. Maybe your mother's right about some things.
Yeah. Well, I think I better get going because I've got a lot of things to do before I go out to dinner tonight, so...
Oh, that's too bad. I was going to invite you to dinner myself.
Why don't you ask my mom out to dinner? I mean, the two of you are obviously old friends. You could maybe take her mind off of that box or the contents of that box.
Yeah. Well, no offense, but I was kind of looking forward to a relaxing evening. Come on. I'll walk you to your car.
Here's a report from Dr. Morgan. As you can see, it shows traces of codeine in the system in addition to the diazepam that I administered.
Who gave him the codeine?
I have no idea.
You sure it wasn't you?
So far, I have been accused of maltreatment, abusing patients, and drinking on the job. Should we add lying to that, Larry?
Whoever the hell did this should have known better. It was the combination of those drugs which caused the problem.
Well, why not let me question Buchanan when he wakes up?
Why don't you just back off for the time being?
Well, hold it. If I'm going to have to take the rap for this, then I think I should look into it.
The matter is in Dr. Woltle's hands.
Who appointed you the administrator,
Listen! My father is resting. He's trying to recover from an accident that happened in this hospital. The last thing he needs is to be grilled by you. Now, you'll excuse me while I tend to some other things. Larry?
That's it? I'm guilty? Huh? No more trying to look into it? No questions?
I'll look into it. I will look into it, I will make my own report, and I will try to be as objective as possible.
Why not let me try to search for the answers? Larry, Come on, don't kowtow to somebody who's not even on the staff of the hospital just because he happens to be rich.
Don't say anything you might regret, Josh.
Come on, Clint Buchanan is bullheaded as his father. They just want to take over and control everything. Larry, this is one resident who has no intention of letting that happen.
You have no choice. And I have no choice. I'm sorry, Josh. Until the matter's cleared up, you're suspended.
You are the last person on earth who's entitled to what's in that box.
I was married to the man. I have certain entitlements under the
You
law.
have no claim. What, Victor made the mistake of marrying you for what, 1 year? Well, I am his daughter.
And what was that but a mistake?
Look, I just know that that box contains a personal legacy to me from my father, and I'm not about to let you walk off with it.
You already have his personal legacy, his worst genetic traits.
You know, I don't have to stand here and take this. Maggie, would you talk to her?
Well, there are many ramifications in this
Spare
case.
me, please. I didn't come here to hear anything Tina has to say, or her Greek chorus. Sorry, dear. I wanted to talk to Herb, so if the two of you would please just leave.
I hate to disillusion you, Dorian, but neither I nor the staff of the district attorney's office happen to be here at your beck and call.
Herb, you have been listening to Tina and her newly acquired female flunky for goodness knows how long. The least you can do is spare me a few minutes.
Look, I may be a public servant, but I don't have to stand here and take
Why
your
don't you
abuse.
go check some dockets or whatever it is that the taxpayers pay you to do?
Yeah, I suggest you stay out of it, Maggie. You're skating on pretty thin ice as it is.
Thanks, Herb. Thanks a lot. Thanks for standing tall for your staff.
Gosh, if Tina were only as agreeable as she is. Speaking of Tina, dear, why are you still standing there?
Why are you in such a hurry for me to leave, Dorian? Are you going to attempt to seduce your ex-husband into giving you that box?
That's it. That's it. The two of you are here to settle the issue of the metal box, not to turn my office into some kind of a free-for-all for your own private welfare.
I think we all have a pretty good idea of what Tina would do for our welfare. Which is why I am not going to let her get her hands on that box. I came here to have it destroyed.
They ran away to fulfill a dream.
It's fate, Rick. Nothing, but nothing is going to stop this wedding.
To a place that time forgot.
You're Ryan Finelli, and I know all about you.
Where a mysterious woman became a friend.
I've missed my mother so much on this trip, and you made me feel like she was here. I'd always known you.
A special moment on Ryan's Hope, weekdays.
Oh, what's this?
In this, I think, the Chinese horse sculpture, and in this, the Malaysian prince.
My things from Malakeva.
Yeah, a huge van just pulled up. It has everything.
That's wonderful. I didn't think they'd get here so soon.
Yeah, and what are we going to do with everything?
Oh, tell the movers to bring everything right into here, and then we'll move some of the heavy antiques and the draperies out.
You're moving the furniture in here as well?
Oh, yes, all my beautiful wicker things and all the treasures that Jeff sent me from all over the place. Oh, we are going to make this so comfortable, Jean-Claude. I mean, there are going to be no more gilt cadenzas and no more tapestries. It's going to home, just like Malakeva.
One problem. Have you discussed this with Monsieur Buchanan?
No, of course not. It's going to be a surprise. I mean, he's going to come home and find me here and all his familiar things and...
You think that it will bring the familiar old habits, n'est-ce pas?
Well, at least I'll be a lot more comfortable. I'm going to be safe. Oh, Jeff, God, I just can't wait. I can't wait to do it.
Excuse me, do you know that there's a big moving truck outside?
Wanda. Hello. Yes, just some of my things from home. Come on in now. I don't think you've met Jean-Claude. Wanda Wolek.
Well, no, not officially. I mean, I've seen you open the door and then walk away and...
My oversight, madame. Forgive me. May I?
Are all butlers so attentive?
Well, Jean-Claude's a little more than a butler. He's a friend.
Yes. I came from Malakeva to help Pamela, and I am glad I did. May I get you something?
No, thank. I just came to see about Asa.
Oh, Asa's fine. Thank you so much for asking. Jean-Claude, would you go out and just check on those drivers? Make sure they don't drop anything.
But of course.
Thank you.
I hope you'll be here for a while. A bientôt.
We'll see. We'll see. Was that just my imagination, or was that? Oh, a bientôt. Was that incredible Frenchman? No, was he flirting with me? With Wanda from Wanda's Diner?
Without a doubt. And I'm not at all surprised. Jean-Claude has a very good eye for attractive ladies.
Oh.
I'm suspended? For what? Is that what you call giving a man a fair shake?
Josh, the hospital guidelines are perfectly clear on that.
Well, Larry, I didn't do anything.
You were drinking on duty. That may have been... It may have created a serious error in judgment.
Come on, let me talk to Asa Buchanan. That's all I ask, please.
I can't do that, Josh.
Larry, somebody's got to make that man answer some questions.
I will take care of it. I will do the asking. I'm sorry, that's the way it's got to be, until we can actually determine what happened.
Larry, do you think I care about Asa Buchanan's millions? When they brought that man in here, he was just an egotistical, self-centered child. He still is. And you think I'm going to let my job go down the drain because of him? You think I'm going to sacrifice my career?
Vicky, I don't have any real legal authority here, but if 2 of the 3 of you could come to some sort of agreement, well...
Done. I'm with Vicky. I think everything in the box should be destroyed.
Oh? Are you afraid of what might be in it, Dorian?
As well she should be, Tina. And you should be, too. Especially after everything else that's come out of that secret room.
Well, it's been nothing but good for me.
Oh, really? I'm sure that you enjoyed seeing Vicky locked up in a sanitarium. You enjoyed seeing Clint squirm on the witness stand, not knowing whether he'd live or die.
If Vicky would have accepted me right at the start, none of that would have ever happened.
Tina! I offered you a fair share. I accepted you as my sister. I laid my future on the line for you at your own murder trial to defend you. When do you say enough? Why would you be so stupid as to want to open a box that could destroy all 3 of us?
Stupid, Vicky? I don't think I'm the one who's stupid here, no. No, you are so embarrassed of me, you don't want to admit the fact that maybe our father might have remembered me. No, you'd rather just shove me off into a corner, hide me under the rug, anything. But admit to the family stain that I represent on the family name here. But you know what? I have that family name now, and I have everything else that goes with it. I have landfare and everything in it, and that includes that box.
Not so fast, Tina. I was Victor's widow. He probably buried that box during the time that we were married, so it should be mine. However, that doesn't really matter. There's a vote going on here. I side with Vicky. That's 2 against 1. You lose, Tina.
Well, I don't accept that. You see, landfare is mine now. You 2 are nothing but past tenants. And Herb, I demand that we bring this to a judge, because a judge is going to understand my claim on this property.
All right, Tina. All right. I will talk to a judge, and I will talk to the police. Obviously, nothing's going to be settled here. But each of you is going to have to abide by the decision. Is that agreed?
It's fine with me, because I know that my stand is the strongest.
Dorian?
I'd like to talk to the judge first.
Well, you see, arbitration doesn't usually work by influence peddling. No, either you're going to have to agree to the terms or you can go on fighting forever.
Very well, I agree.
Good. Vicky?
I don't like it. In fact, I dread it, but I don't really see any other way out.
All right. Now, I want all of you to sit tight. First, I will talk to the police, then I will find a judge, and I will get back to you as soon as I have a decision.
Tonight at 9, 8 Central and Mountain, charges of murder are leveled at a second member of the Colby clan. And Zach wages a ruthless war to sever Sable from Jason on the Colbys. Then the growing prejudice against gays. AIDS backlash could be forcing them back into the closet. Plus, suing the clergy Their counsel and advice could be the new prime target for malpractice on 2020. Tonight, Kevin's trial begins. Stay tuned for General Hospital following an ABC News brief next.
Good evening, Mrs. Sherman.
Oh, it's you, Mr. Vernon. And I was hoping to see your wife.
Oh.
Please, don't misunderstand. It's lovely to see you. But Mrs. Vernon comes into the post office every day, so looking forward to mail from home.
Oh, is there some?
Finally.
My. I think there's some newspapers in here.
I hope Mrs. Vernon isn't ill.
No. She's just doing some volunteer work at the village clinic. She's not very familiar with their methods, but she's doing her best to fit in.
If I may say so, Mr. Vernon, your wife is the kind of lady who could fit into any community in the world and brighten it a bit.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you. Oh, dear.
Thank you. Is Tina around anywhere?
Yes, she's right outside in the hall practicing her very best poor little me expression.
It's been over 2 hours. I just hope that Herb didn't underestimate the time that this was going to take.
Oh, I'm sure he didn't. He's probably trying just to get rid of us. We've been taking up so much of his time. He's trying to make sure that some judge makes a decision as to who that box really does belong to. Vicky, does it surprise you? The two of us being on the same side?
Actually, Dorian, we've been on the same side. In this issue, at any rate, for the most part. Since Tina blasted into our lives. Compared to her, you practically have a halo glowing over your head.
Was that a compliment?
Dorian, what if we lose? What if the judge gives Tina that box? You know she's never going to keep the contents a secret, no matter what it is.
I think you're right.
Well, my darling, since the judge awarded you possession, what do you want to do with it?
Open it, of course, Herb. I must know what's in it.
One envelope, addressed to no one. It's Victor's last will and testament.
Read it. What does it say?
He left you $1.
No, Clint, no. I won't look inside.
Sweetheart, it could be very important. At least let me look at it, and I'll make the decision whether you should see it or not.
All right. All right, darling, I trust your judgment.
Never are you to look inside that box, honey. It's the one secret of your father's you would find absolutely unbearable.
all this is for my wonderful daughter, Tina, whom I've so neglected for all these years. Oh, Father, thank you.
Tina?
Oh, Herb, did the judge decide in my favor?
Let's join Dorian and Vicky. I met with Judge Barrows. I explained that the issue was ownership of the metal box, that Victor Lord had hidden it in Landfair. He rendered a decision, and I would like to remind each of you of your agreement to abide by it.
Herb, for heaven's sakes, just tell us who the box belongs to.
Rob, Lisa.
Hey, man, you looking all right? You sounded really upset on the phone.
I've been temporarily suspended from the hospital.
What?
All because of that old billionaire Asa Buchanan and whatever incompetent gave him codeine.
Wait, go back. Start the story over again.
I have to sit down. We're short-handed at the hospital, right? Filling in for the resident. Asa needed his medication. I couldn't even find the damn nurse. So I gave him the diazepam. Asa, being ornery the way he is, he refused to take it at first, and Angela Seymour heard us brawling. Naturally, I am the bad guy.
Well, where does the codeine come in?
Rob, I don't know. I don't even know. Asa collapsed. They found codeine and diazepam in the system, and they don't mix.
And they're accusing you of giving him the drugs.
Yeah, can you beat that? Not only that, Angela smelled alcohol on my breath.
Oh.
And she told Larry, you know, I had one drink here.
Well, why would she tell Larry?
Because she's a Class A nerd, that's why. What are you going to do?
I don't know. I'm just gonna hope that Asa can clear this up. Obviously, some other hospital personnel went and gave him the doggone codeine. I don't know who. Asa's unconscious, and Larry won't let me anywhere near him.
See, the problem here is Asa could sue for malpractice.
I didn't mal anything. I could lose my whole career here. Do you realize that? I don't know how to do anything but be a doctor.
You could be my assistant manager if you want.
Oh, come on, Josh would be miserable. I know sometimes he acts as if money's the only important thing, but...
Not as important as practicing medicine, Lisa. And maybe I didn't realize that until Larry put me out. But I feel like somebody's got a gun at my head, and they pull the trigger, and there's no way I can get out of the way.
The box has been awarded to Vicky.
No!
To do with as she wishes.
But this is an outrage.
No, Tina. For a change, justice has prevailed.
Yes, it certainly has. Thank you. I am not going to take this and put it in Asa's safe until I can destroy it.
Herb, what is wrong with Judge Barrows, huh? I mean, didn't he finish school or something? Doesn't he know that possession is 9/10 of the law?
Oh, wonderful, Tina. What have you been doing? Watching old reruns of the Perry Mason show?
This is not fair, and I am going to fight this all the way to the Supreme Court.
Save my money, please, Tina. Because by the time it gets there won't be anything left to fight over.
I can't believe you would do this, Vicky. You can't just throw out what... I mean, there might be all sorts of treasures in there.
It does not contain treasures, all right? I know that for a fact.
Oh. And since when did you become an authority on our father, huh? I mean, or is this just like how you knew for a fact that our father could not possibly have slept with my mother?
All right, Tina, you've already wasted 3 hours of my time. The issue is settled. The metal box is Vicky's.
Yes, besides which, Tina, we all agreed to abide by this decision.
But that's when I thought I was going to win.
Of course, that's the only time you are agreeable.
You know, I should never have let you go talk to the judge alone. You influenced him, didn't you? You wanted Vicky to win.
Yeah, if you knew Judge Barrows, you'd realize that.
Oh, just forget it, okay? I know whose side you're on. And you. You know, I can't believe that you would go along with her throwing out what might be millions of dollars worth of treasures. Vicky, as per usual, this is not the end of this subject.
Oh, yes, it is. You know, one should never risk having a conversation with Tina unless one has a couple of aspirin on hand.
Herb, may I use your phone for a moment,
Yes,
please?
of
Thank
course.
you.
Darling, yes, it's me. Oh, sweetheart, the judge awarded me the box.
Oh, that's a relief.
Yes, it certainly is. How's your father?
Well, more good news. He's fine, just resting. They still haven't solved the mystery of those two conflicting medications.
But there are no lasting side effects, right?
No, none.
Good. Well, then we have two things to celebrate. I think that calls for a dinner out, don't you?
It sure does.
Okay. I'll be right home with the box. I just hope that there's some room in Ace's safe for it. I love you, sweetheart. Bye-bye. Herb, thank you.
Well, I'm just glad we could straighten it out.
Yes, and Dorian, thank you for siding with me on this issue.
You're quite welcome, as long as you keep your word and leave the box unopened.
You can trust me. There's no way I would ever open it.
I carry it up for you.
No, thank you. I can manage. Thank you, Dorian. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Well, now that that's a dead issue, there's something I'd like to tell you.
Vicky's right. It is not a dead issue. I've got to know what's in that box.
Afraid maybe it's some kind of last will of Victor's, maybe cuts you out of half your legacy, hands it over to Tina.
I just hate it when you can see right through me. But you're right. It does scare me, just a bit. I mean, I was born poor, I became rich, then, thanks to Tina, I became poor again, I'm telling you. Rich is a whole lot better. I don't intend to let that little hussy get her hands on my money ever again.
Better get Vicky to hurry up and destroy it, huh?
Why, isn't that unethical advice from the acting district attorney?
Well, it would be if the matter were still in contention. By the way, that's what I wanted to tell you. Now, I may be only the acting district attorney now, but I'm hoping to change that. I've decided to run for the office.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought the political animal in you had died when you were forced to resign your governorship.
I thought it had too, but I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed the pressure, you know, and the challenge of it, except for convicting Clint, of course. I don't have any family ties to keep me occupied, so why not fill up my time by being the town crusader?
Sure. I just hope that your past doesn't get in your way.
Well, I think I've proven myself reasonably honorable, don't you? And, of course, that I don't have the same ambitious wife who cheered me on while I accepted those tainted contributions.
Yes. Whatever did happen to her?
I don't know. She's out there somewhere, I suppose.
Oh, is she? Yes.
Last I heard, she was circling Asa Buchanan.
Oh, yes, well, I happen to know from a very close source that she only circled him. She never landed. And then she wised up. Right now, of course, she's rather worried. Very worried. That her first husband locked something up inside that box that's terribly, terribly important. And then bricked into that closet.
You know, darling, if he went to all that trouble, I doubt very much that it's a last will. The man obviously is trying to hide the contents, don't you think?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I will talk to you later.
Okay.
Goodbye. Thanks for everything.
Could you really lose your license?
I don't think so. They haven't proved that I've done anything wrong. But I could be thrown out of the hospital because they have lost faith in me.
But that means you could still go into, like, private practice or a clinic. I mean, you won't be making the big bucks, but
That's the last thing on my mind now, Lisa. You do believe me, don't you?
yeah, it just always seemed like it was very important to you.
Money is important. I'd be a fool if I said it weren't important. Do you realize what all those years of training cost? What my father put out? All the loans I gotta pay back? The hours I spent as an intern? The dreams? You think I did that for money? I love the mystery of medicine. I love diagnosing, treating, hopefully healing. I want to be able to go out and not have to worry about the price of a meal. But if it comes down to not being able to practice medicine and doing it for free, I will do it for free. Yeah, I've just embarrassed myself. I sound like I'm giving a speech to pre-meds.
Oh, stop. Don't take any of it back, okay? I just wish... Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say anything.
No, go ahead. What do you...
No, it's just that, well, it reminded me of how Bobby was talking. I know you don't want to hear about him, but he was tired of the street hustling and the easy buck. He was going to go back to school and really make something of himself. It's just that it was going to take him a little bit longer than it took you, Josh. He had a few more mistakes to make.
I'm sorry, Lisa. I'm really sorry.
So, tell me the truth. Do you think my father might be behind this?
He's capable. That's all I know. I swear, that's all I know. Lisa, you think we could forget about your father and about Bobby and just start over again?
Hey.
Rob, hi.
How are you? Boy, you look pretty good.
Thank you.
I know you didn't get duded up just for me.
No, I've got a dinner date with Craig Stone.
No kidding. Who's that?
You remember the guy that I was talking to you about? The one who knew Brad and Jenny were in the con?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna see if I can probe a little more out of him, see if he's telling the truth.
I don't believe it.
What?
I don't believe it.
I can handle myself.
Cassie,
You're
look,
right.
I have got plenty of things around here that I need to worry about. I don't need you to be added to the list.
Who's
Thank you very
asking you
much.
to worry?
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Ex-husbands aren't supposed to worry, right?
Rob, you're being so ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
30 seconds to post time, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, great. Be like a little kid at show and tell. You know, I can't wait for you to see Lucky Opal does the competition.
Well, I bet my whole paycheck on her, so she better.
Did it. Are we still in Baltimore?
Yeah, honey, we sure are.
So what's Stella doing here?
Ladies and gentlemen, the horses are approaching
Stella.
the starting gate.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, Connie. Hi, Bud.
Well,
Thanks for
what a
giving me the
surprise.
idea.
Yeah, what idea? Please, have a seat. Join us.
Well, you said you were flying up here to bet on your horses, and I figured why not fly up myself and bet on Bart's horses.
Oh, who's Bart?
The guy I was telling you about. Oh, I didn't tell you his name, did I? Well, who cares if you're not going to tell his wife? Bart Barron. The pharmaceutical king.
We met. He said he was into horses.
Believe me, he has some formula for picking them. You're going to lose, Bud.
No way, Stella. You check the odds before you lay down your bet. Lucky Opal's a big favorite here.
Sorry. Red Baron's 20 to 1 is going to win.
Ladies and gentlemen, the horses are in the gate.
Oh, great. It's about to start.
Here we go. He is restless in the gate, but his rider is calming him down. And they're off. Uh-oh. Mellow yellow stumble, but he's back up. And the leader is...
Go for it, little devil. Go for it.
Come on, Red Baron.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Come
Go
on,
for
baby.
it.
Go.
Push. Go. Go.
Come on.
Yes. Yes. Go.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on.
Come on. Catch him. Catch him.
Come on. Come on.
Let him catch you. Hey, come on.
Baron on the outside, moving up on Lucky Opal.
Come on. Come on.
No. Catch him. Catch him.
Yeah, I knew you could do it.
Catch him.
Come on, push.
And coming round the final turn, it's Red Baron neck to neck with Lucky Opal.
Come on, baby.
Come on. Come on.
Lucky is third, and now we're in the sprint. Red Baron is moving ahead of Lucky Opal.
Come on. No. Come on.
And the winner is Red Baron. Lucky Opal second, Honeybee third. Gentlemen, that completes the
That's impossible.
place opens now for the fifth race. We're running in 30 minutes.
What happened is I just won $1,000, and if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go and collect my winnings and bet on Bart's horse in the 5th race.
Wait, Stella, wait a minute. I want to hear more about this horse I never heard of.
After I go and collect my money.
Don't be a sore loser.
I'm never a good loser, especially when it doesn't make any sense. I mean, that horse is a nag. There's no way you should have won.
Well, you gonna let it plague the whole evening and forget about me?
Well, I might need a little persuasion.
Well, I think I can handle that task. And then in the morning, if you still feel blue, then I'll just have to distract you all over again.
Yeah, well, no. In the morning, you have to go back to Landview, see if there's any messages from Jenny. Not that I want you to leave, or that it's more important.
Oh, of course it's more important. How could I be so dumb to think that Jenny is not more important? How silly. But then I knew that before I hooked up with you now, didn't I?
Oh, I just realized I've been reading about something that happened quite some time ago. Oh, let's see. Oh, thank heaven.
Good news?
Yes, Mrs. Shermer. Vicky is in her right mind. Clint did not kill Dr. Polk, and there's some girl I never heard of who is in a great deal of trouble.
You come from a very colorful town in America, don't you, Mr. Vernon?
Yes, well, I can say that it was never dull, Mrs. Shermer. Thank heavens we got this copy, because if my wife had just seen this, she'd be on the first plane back. Oh, I'm sorry.
Vernon,
paper? Well, never mind the paper. Your ink and,
Oh, never mind the
very,
ink.
very sorry. Please, don't bother about the paper. Just throw it out. The important news is in these editions that clears our friends. So please, don't worry.
Cassie,
Craig, here you are.
you look lovely.
Thank you. This is Rob Cornell. He's the owner of the Vernon Inn, and this is Craig Stone, one of your guests.
How do you do, Mr. Coronel?
I'm good. Welcome to the Vernon Inn.
Good. You run a very fine hotel here.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, shall we go?
Indeed.
Okay.
So long now.
See you later, Rob.
Ronnie.
It's Reggie.
Reggie, right, Reg. Do me a favor. Go over to the front desk and look up a guest by the name of Craig Stone. I want to know his permanent address, okay?
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Ron. Reg.
Oh, thank heavens it fits.
Yes, thank heavens we don't ever have to know what's in that box. First thing in the morning, we'll toss it in the river, okay?
And that will be the first time in my life that I have ever looked forward to a burial. Come on, let's get out of here before Tina calls to argue again. Should we ask Pam to join us?
No. I have something I want to discuss privately over dinner.
What?
Sweetheart, it's something nice, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry. I do always tend to think of the worst possible thing first, don't I?
Oh, it has to be in here. I know I put it in here somewhere. Whew. And here it is. I knew I wouldn't be so dumb as to throw this combination away.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment. Watch Action News at 5 p.m.
Tina, you're home.
Richard!
I talked to Clint before I left the office, and he told me that Asa's doing okay. And that Vicky had won the strange lottery prize.
Yeah, well, first I was real upset about that, but then I decided it just wasn't worth fighting over.
Wow, I must say, I'm impressed. I haven't been entirely sure of your motives.
Richard, not you, too.
Now, let me finish. I understand where you're coming from, and I'm trying to make other people understand. But you do make it hard sometimes. Now, this convinces me that Vicky, you really do care about Vicky, and that you truly want a ceasefire.
That's very nice. But I doubt that everybody else will see it that way.
What about having dinner with me tonight? It'll give us a chance to talk about something else, besides Victor Lord and his fortune.
Oh, sounds like you're asking me for a date.
I guess I am. And I promise not to take you to Barry's Bar and Grill, where I heard that Vicky and Clint are going to be. What do you say?
I'd love to. But I have to say no.
Oh, you got a better offer?
Oh, no, it's nothing like that. It's just that, you know, I mean, with this place blowing up and everything, and then fighting over that box, I mean, I've got this terrible headache, and I think maybe what I ought to do is just go to bed and get a good night's sleep.
Well, maybe we could do it tomorrow night.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be better by then. Listen, since I'm staying in and just going to bed, why don't you go join Vicky and Clint?
Well, then I guess I'll see you in the morning. Take care of yourself.
Oh, have fun for both of us. Okay, 9 right, 2 times to the left, 22, and then to the right, 25.
To us.
To us, to our children, to our future. I love you.
Love you.
Darling, what are you doing on the floor?
Marry me.
No, darling, would you get up? Come on, you're making a spectacle of yourself.
No, I want to hear your answer while I'm making a spectacle of myself.
Yes, of course I'll marry you. Get up.
You marry me?
Yes, I'll
She
marry
said
you.
yes. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Got witnesses. Thank you. Thank you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the floor show.
Oh, you wonderful, crazy man. I love you.
And I love you.
What's in that?
Now, what's in that? You got 17 guesses.
Darling, I already have an engagement ring, and I have a wedding ring.
It's only fair. 2 engagements, 2 rings. Open it. Open it or I'll get back on the balloon.
Oh, oh, sweetheart.
It's for the other hand.
Meaning that now both of me belong to you?
I swear that wasn't a conscious thought.
I know that, darling. I'm teasing. But you know something? I've thought it, and I feel it. All of me does belong to you now. All of me.
Put them right there.
Oh, Pamela, hello. I assumed the house was going to be empty, that everybody would be at the hospital visiting Asa. I assume he's doing very well.
Yes, we were very lucky, thank you. How was your trip?
Refreshing, thank you very much, though it seems awfully long ago. I have been looking all over for some personal papers of mine, and then I remembered that I had them in a file here at Aces, you know, while I was working for him, either in this room or in the den.
Well, Dorian, I would really like to help you find them, but I have to get to the hospital right away. I mean, Ace is groggy, but he is waking up.
I know.
wanna
Don't
be there.
hesitate a moment on my say. No. Just I'll let myself out, and I'll make sure that the house is locked
I
up.
hope you don't think that I'm terrible or anything, but could you please come back tonight?
Oh, don't you trust me?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm just worried about that metal box. I mean, it's not that I think you'd steal it or anything. It's just that I...
Well, I guess you're right. Thank you very much for that. Because, goodness, if anything should happen to that box, I would get the blame for it. That would be a terrible tragedy since Vicky and I have become so terribly close lately. Yes, indeed. Well, why don't we go? We can leave together, I assure you.
Thank you, Dorian.
Yes, indeed. Okay.
I'm on the East Coast temporarily to see what antique treasures you Americans had transported over here.
I see, and you're going to transport them back to Europe.
Indeed.
It was great running into you. Listen, say hello to Asa for me. I hope he's doing okay.
Fine, thank you. It's an honor to meet you both.
It was a pleasure, Mr. Stone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice day. I didn't know Cassie was into antiques.
Honey, that was probably a date. I expect it's rather tough for her to get started again after the divorce.
Oh, well, that's something you and I will never find out about it.
So when I arrived in Cannes, France, I discovered that the Louis XIV dresser had been sold and was now in the possession of a resident of Llanview, Pennsylvania.
I see.
So I arrived here to offer him a tidy sum of money for it, but unfortunately he's out of town on holiday.
Fascinating line of business you're in. So, was it Cannes, France that you were saying that you ran into Brad and Jenny Vernon?
Yes, it was. And didn't you say you were very close friends to them?
Actually, Jenny was married to my father at one time, before he died. And then she got back together again with Brad.
I'm sorry to hear about your father. Now, Cassie, tell me something. What about that young man in the Vernon Inn who looked so jealous when we walked away?
Rob. Well, he's my ex-husband. We were recently divorced.
If I'm interrupting a special moment, just let me know and I'll leave.
Oh,
No.
you're interrupting a special moment.
Oh, good night.
Richard, pull up a chair. Don't be silly. Come back here. I'll get you another glass with some champagne.
I have no desire to interrupt such a twosome as yours. It'll make it a crowd.
Well, 15 minutes ago I would have agreed with you, but right now, sit down and say congratulations.
Just for a moment. I thought I already had. You mean about possession of, Vicky getting possession of the box?
Oh, no, please forget about that horrible, stupid box. No. Clint and I are getting remarried next week.
Well, all right. Congratulations. Well, that settles it. I'm definitely leaving. Now, you two have a wonderful, romantic evening.
You better stay put, right where you are. We just don't see enough of you. At least not recently. What with the banner and all the commotion.
Yeah, and Tina monopolizing your time.
You know, the only reason I'm here is that she wasn't feeling well tonight, so, you know, this whole ordeal has taken its toll on her, too.
Oh, Richard.
Come on. Give her a little break. I mean, she, did decide not to pursue getting the metal box, didn't she?
She said that?
Yeah, just a while ago. She said she doesn't want to fight with you anymore, Vicky. She says she cares about you too much to pursue this.
I'll drink to that. I'll tell you what, you pour, and, Vicky, sweetheart.
You and Richard can catch up on old times. I'm going to be gone for a little while.
Why?
Because you weren't in Herb's office this afternoon and I was. There's a safe at Ace's I have to protect.
Oh, Vicky, you're wrong.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Sweetheart, I'll go with you.
No, darling, thank you. This is something I'll do by myself, okay?
This is nuts. I mean, Tina's at home in bed. She's not going to try anything.
We'll see.
You don't know Tina, but Vicky knows Tina.
And this one. Beautiful Lisa. 20 to 1. That's one of Bart's horses, too.
You know, the pattern here is getting kind of scary. These horses, they come out of nowhere. They're from poor stock. They race once, win, never race again.
Stella, could this Bart Barron be doing something illegal with these horses?
Look, I don't know. All I know is they win.
Yeah, against all luck or logic. I think I'm going to look into Mr. Barron and his fleet-footed stable.
First, clear it. Okay, now turn it to the right. Stop at 9. And then 2 turns to the left. Dorian, you scared me to death. My whole life flashed in front of me.
Couldn't have, dear. If your whole life flashed in front of you, you would be dead of shame.
Yeah, my heart. I mean, I didn't even hear you come in here.
Of course not. You were so intent on breaking into that safe. It's a good thing I came in when I did.
Oh, now, wait a second here. Now, just what are you doing here?
What am I doing? I assumed that this house would be empty, as did you, and I thought that somebody should keep an eye on that safe.
Oh, yeah, you are here for exactly the same reason I am, and you got in the same way, huh? From the key you had when you were working for Asa?
Only I didn't keep the combination. So you have it. Great, now I don't have to ransack the house.
So are we agreed?
We haven't agreed to anything except to check out the contents of the box. Beyond that, I make absolutely no commitment.
Oh, yeah, but you're curious, aren't you, Dorian? Oh, you are very curious, because that might just contain Victor's last will and testament. And this might be your very last day as a wealthy widow.
That's what you're really hoping for, isn't it?
No. Actually, my father had the secret room built as a bomb shelter, so I'm sure what's hidden in there are jewels and gold and things in case the country went bad.
Oh, yes, that makes sense.
So, how about a deal? If it's a legal document of any kind, you can have it. I won't even read it. If it's gold or jewels or anything like that, it's mine. No questions asked.
Deal. Read me the combination.
Okay. It's 9 to the right. You stop at 9. And then you go to the left 2 turns, and then you stop at 22.
Left, 2 turns,
To
22.
Right, then once right to 25, and then you stop. Now watch it.
I am being very careful. Don't grab at it.
No, it's very heavy. Now, I know I'm right about this. What's in it?
Yes, does it occur to you, dear, that it might be heavy just because the box itself is heavy?
Has it occurred to either one of you that I could have you arrested?
On General Hospital, the love of Terry and Kevin could survive her secret past.
We're gonna have a wonderful marriage, and a wonderful life together.
But now,
Have you found out who killed my grandmother? Kevin O'Connor, I am arresting you for the murder of Jennifer Talbot.
They've arrested the wrong person!
I haven't done anything to feel guilty about.
You really think Kevin's innocent?
Yeah. You have any doubts?
This nightmare is starting to become real. Kevin could go to prison.
can the love of Terry and Kevin survive the future? On General Hospital, weekdays.
Well, again, I'm very sorry for the mess.
Oh, please don't think twice about it. It's all right.
All right. Well, I'll see you in a few days.
Happy reading, Mr. Vernon.
Thank you.
And my best to your wife.
I'll be the same. Thank you.
Wiedersehen.
I knew you would be here, Tina. And Dorian, I should have guessed that you would be here too.
Actually, she's the one. She's just a common criminal. I got here just in time.
Dorian, how dare you?
Yes.
No, she was just trying to beat me to the safe.
Of course I was. Because if she got to it first, you and I wouldn't have a thing left by morning.
You are both guilty of illegal entry, trespassing, breaking into a safe that does not belong. Where did you get the combination?
Tina stole it when she worked for Asa.
What?
Yes.
Well, she was gonna scrounge through all the drawers for it.
I don't even believe you two.
Wait a minute here. Why are Tina and I acting like two kids who've been caught with our hands in the cookie jar? Who made you the mother? We've got every bit as much right to what's in the box as you do.
That's right. Only one out of the three of us wants it to be kept hidden. I mean, it's just not fair.
Fair? You, the burglar, are going to talk to me about fair?
Vicki, Herb did point out to me that what's in the box couldn't possibly harm or affect either one of our lives, or else Victor wouldn't have gone through the trouble of burying it.
Dorian, haven't we had enough heartache from Victor?
Why are you so sure it's gonna be heartache inside there? I mean, it might be some sort of treasure.
Look, Vic, Victor was a man who had many wonderful qualities. We have to remember that. We also have to remember that he loved the two of us very much.
All of us. At least he would have loved me if he'd had a chance.
No. No, no, no. Now you get out, or I am going to call the police, and I mean that. All three of us are going to die wondering what is in that box, but I swear to you that none of us will ever find out, and I am protecting you as much as myself here.
That's not true. No, you are just frightened that if you see what's in that box, you're going to fly out into outer space again, and Nicky Smith is going to take over.
How dare you, Tina?
Indeed, foul, no points.
I have been to hell and back, little sister. I have explored every corner of cowardice and fear that is in me, and I have survived. And there is nothing on this earth or in that box that would make me let go of myself and leave my husband and my children again. Do you hear me?
Fine. Very brave words, Vicky. Let's see some proof, huh? Proof that you have the courage to look into that box and remain Vicky Buchanan.
Does either one of you happen to have the key?
Dorian!
Fair or foul, Tina is right.
I will not be railroaded into this. Do you hear me?
Vicky, can't you at least think of it as one last test? I mean, this way you'll never again have to doubt yourself.
Oh, all right. God knows I hope I don't live to regret this, but all right, we'll open it. On one condition. Whatever is in there stays in this room with the three of us. Understood?
Agreed. That's fine with me. I'm even willing to write it in blood.
So am I, as long as it's Tina's blood.
No, I mean this. We are witnesses to each other's binding agreement, understand?
Fine, but what if it's treasures?
Oh, would you stop? We will deal with treasures if and when they show up.
All right. Okay, then let's get with it.
All right, we're going to have to find something to break open the lock.
Oh. Well, never mind. I came prepared. Oh. Okay. Now, let me see. I guess I'll put this in here. And you two hold it, and I'll hit it with this.
Yeah, sure. You'll let go of the hammer, it'll hit Vicky in the head, the chisel will go flying through my heart, and then you'll end up with everything. Let me do it.
Come on, let's get on with this. It's ridiculous.
Watch Action News at 5 p.m.
Does this diner serve strained carrots by any chance? Hey, Dee Dee! I heard you were back.
Well, I'm just getting around seeing people. So, Sammy, do you remember Aunt Dee Dee?
Yeah, hey, Sammy, come on. You want to give your Aunt Dee Dee a hug? Come on.
Please,
Let me give it a hug.
Where's my baby? There's my baby. Oh, she's taking cuteness pills.
All right, come on, they're both empty over here. Come on,
Okay.
let's go.
Want to go?
Okay?
Want to
Sure.
go?
Come on, sweetie.
Okay.
Hey, Pete, did you happen to see this Philadelphia Journal today?
No, I never read it.
Well, I got an ad running in there. Actually, me and Asa were selling the Backstreet Bar. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Well, there's an article in here. There it is, on Landview. About the, crime in the DA's office and you.
It's about me?
Well, yeah, I think you want to take a look, but I'm not sure you're going to like what you see.
Well, hello there.
I dozed off again?
For another half an hour.
Where's the nurse or some coffee?
Oh,
Please.
yeah, I don't think they want any caffeine in your system, not with that codeine and all the other stuff you had.
Oh, yes, you were telling me why I passed out on the floor. A combination of what I had taken?
Oh, the drugs interacted and knocked you out cold. The real mystery around here is where'd the codeine come from? I mean, was it Dr. Hall that gave it to you or some other member of the staff? Or maybe that pouch that I brought you, it had codeine in it, and you took some, didn't you? I mean, you gave yourself the wrong medication?
I swear, I didn't know what the hell was in it. Dr. Harrison, years ago, gave it me, and when I felt bad, I'd take it, and it just worked right away.
Yes, well, I imagine so. But Asa, we're gonna have to do something about that right away.
Wait a minute, come on.
No,
Nobody
I
has to
mean
know
it.
about this.
Of course they do.
Damn, I'm alive. I lived through it, didn't I?
Come in. That has nothing to do with it.
Hi, you're awake. How do you feel?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm a little groggy, that's all.
Mr. Buchanan, who else gave you medication besides me?
We'd like the truth.
Well, who wants to look first?
I feel the same way as I did before we opened it. I don't want to know.
Well, I do. It's not what we thought.
You mean it's not what you thought? Treasure.
I will tell you both what is in there. More trouble.
Three envelopes. Victor's handwriting. This one is marked Victoria. This one is marked Dorian.
Well, and the third?
Yes, there's one marked Tina.
This is very spooky.
Now you're telling me. It's almost like Victor knew we'd find that box together and that we'd open it together, too.
I used to think that Victor had telepathic powers. And when we found the monitors and the listening devices in the secret room, of course, that explained that.
Nothing explains this. This goes way beyond the realm of coincidence.
3 envelopes. In a box, originally hidden behind a brick wall in a room that he hoped nobody would discover.
Sorry, ladies. My feelings stay the same. I don't want to know. Why don't we just seal it back up and bury it again?
No! No! No, he wanted us to have these. I mean, they have our names on them. It's like undelivered mail.
Tina's hoping there's a very large check in hers.
Well, I am going to find out what's in mine, and I don't care what the two of you do. It's my birth certificate. Father, Victor Lord. Mother, Irene Manning Lord. Oh, it is right there in black and white. My proof of my heritage. Vic, if you had any doubts, you can't have any doubts now. I am your sister. And this is... It's a letter to Victor from my mother. You have another daughter. A beautiful blonde baby I've named Tina. Enclosed is her birth certificate. As you know, I have been very torn about what happened between us that night at Lamp Fair. But holding this darling baby girl in my arms has changed some of them. We may have been wrong, but Tina somehow makes us right. I hope one day that you and she can find each other. Irene.
Yes, I suppose Father did love you, even if it was from a distance.
A very great distance. From behind a brick wall. I mean, why didn't he leave that out with the other documents that Tina stumbled on? Why did he have to put it in here?
I don't care. It really doesn't even matter anymore.
Oh, wait. Here's the gold you were hoping to find. A little baby locket with your name on it. Though I don't know what it would be worth in today's market.
Dorian, I would never sell this, you know that. This is from my father. And this is proof to me that he kept this for so long, that he loved me very much.
Well, since we're playing Russian roulette, you want to pull the trigger next?
What's the matter with you?
Article about crime in Landview. According to the writer, Herb may have tried to convict the wrong man, but he did his duty when he tried Clinton Ken. He found the prosecution did a good job, however, the defense was lagging.
Oh, great.
Not only that, it's rumored I have a drinking problem, that I was drinking during the trial.
Oh, that's ridiculous. I've never even seen you with one drink. Couldn't you sue him for a blatant lie like that? Not to change the subject, but are Rafe and Clover a duo?
I have no idea.
I've always wanted the best for Rafe. Hope Clover's the woman that can do it for him.
Stella, you wanted to see me?
Drop the high and mighty stuff, Lisa. We've known each other too long. You want to sit down?
Well, girlfriend, let me tell you what I know about you, okay? I know you're real smart, but you're also so lazy. Because you always have to have some guy to take care of you. Like when you, went after Bobby. So fast you got him, and so fast you got rid of him. And I wondered what happened. Till I found out that you latched onto my rich married father.
Who's a real louse, Lisa. If that man came in here right now and begged me to come back, I'd run. To tell you the truth, I'm afraid of him.
Physically?
Not exactly. I don't know. But he's got some meanness to him.
Now, wait a minute. Look at me, ready to defend him in front of you. A part of me still wants to defend him, still loves him, but still I hate you. You made me see him for what he is.
Well, this hasn't been the most wonderful time of my life either, girl. But now that your eyes are open, don't be so quick to shut them. I'm sure he's the one who set Bobby Blue up.
Did he tell you that?
Well, it's the way he denied it. Oh, and I'll tell you something else. You know those racehorses of his?
Yeah, I never paid any attention, but I know he's got some.
There's something funny about Bart's horses and how they always win. I don't know how it's done. I don't know what's going on with them. All I know is that these horses are always winning at the track. I was just there yesterday. I was just there yesterday.
Isn't that a conversation you should be having with me, Stella?
I was just telling Lisa how funny it is that your horses always win. That's all I was saying.
I must have misunderstood. I thought you were implying something else.
No way. I wasn't implying.
In fact, my horses don't always win. No one has a stable of all winners.
It's just your luck, isn't it, Bart? Which used to be real good.
Well, look, I don't want to interfere with this little lover's quarrel, but I'll go upstairs,
I came here to see
okay?
you, Lisa, not her.
And I certainly didn't come by to see you, Bart. I'll talk to you later, Lisa.
Well, I have nothing to say to you.
How could you be so friendly to Stella, but not to me?
Look, I'm not friendly with anyone.
Don't listen to her, baby. She's a bitter woman, lying and scheming. Look, I was a fool to ever let her turn my head.
I don't need to know about your affair with Stella. It's really none of my business.
All right. Look, I want to thank you for not telling your mother. I was waiting for the bomb to drop, but obviously you're keeping it to yourself.
Well, look, it's like this. On the one hand, I don't like you making a fool of Mom. And then on the other hand, I don't want to be the one to break her heart the way you broke mine. When you got rid of Bobby, you also got rid of my respect for you, Bartholomew Barrett. Oh, look at me. I swore I wouldn't get upset over this again.
Lisa. Look, Lisa. I want to assure you that I will never cheat on your mother again. Look, in fact, I'm kind of glad you found out about Stella because it forced me to give her up and face myself. I've been hit with a very bad case of guilt, Lisa.
Yes, but it's only for Stella, none for Bobby, right?
It was nobody's fault, Larry. Let's let it go at that. It was a mistake, and I'm not blaming the hospital for anything.
The hospital's got to clear it up.
Mr. Buchanan, please, my job is on the line. I've been suspended and I'm being blamed.
Oh, Dr. Hall here, didn't do anything. That kid's okay.
Asa, this is only a tiny point of pride with you. This young man's entire future is on the line.
What does that mean?
Well, it means, I OD'd myself.
What was it, some Texas horse medicine?
I didn't know what the hell was in it. I just figured it's helped me.
Oh, I should have known better. Asa Buchanan, the great one, thinks he's a doctor, too.
Just take it easy, Josh. The man's apologizing. Let's not rub it in.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, so am I. And Larry, I'm sorry I got the hospital in uproar. I was just trying to make the pain go away.
Promise you it will not ever happen again. As a matter of fact, why don't we just get rid of that home remedy right now? Come on.
Be grateful for that.
Thank you, Mr. Buchanan.
I'm sorry, Josh. Don't start with me, Pamela.
Start with you. I was just about to give you a kiss.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll be fine. That'll be right nice.
It would be.
Well, I cannot tell you how glad I am it turned out it wasn't your fault.
Oh, it feels like somebody just lifted a building off my back.
It does.
Hey, guys,
Hello,
what's the
Rob.
story with the Buchanan mystery?
No longer a mystery. The man tried to heal himself, and he's okay. I got my job back, and everything is cool.
Didn't I tell you it was going to work out?
Yeah, everything is fine. Take care. See you later.
Take it easy.
Listen, we got an appointment. Why don't we go down to my office?
Larry, I don't think it's going to take that long.
You decided to leave the program.
Yeah.
Well, I saw it coming.
Oh, really? I wasn't sure it was. Larry, it's just that the Vernon Inn was my mother's, and I just want to keep her going, you know? And it's not only that, it's the whole discipline thing. I don't think I've got what it takes to be a doctor. But with the hotel, it's different. I don't know. I get up in the morning and get taking care of those problems. It doesn't faze me at all. I look forward to it. I like it. Plus, the money kind of comes in handy,
That
too.
doesn't make you a bad person.
I was hoping you'd say that.
I'm only concerned that we're going to lose touch with each other. I mean, the hospital's the only thing we have in common, really.
There's no way that's going to happen. Not only you, my stepfather, you're my friend. I can count on you.
Good. Good, because your mom would want us to look out for each other.
Oh, shoot. I let both those doctors get out of here before I found out when I'm going to go home.
I think tomorrow, honey.
It had better be. I'm going to raise another ruckus around here. Do me a favor. Stop grinning at me.
The only reason I'm grinning at you is because I see Jeb Stewart peek out more and more.
Pamela, you're making it sound like I got a dual personality. Haven't we had enough of that stuff around here lately?
I am only giving you a compliment. I happen to be very much in love with Jeb Stewart, remember?
Was, right?
Was, is. I'm also a lot fonder of Asa Buchanan now that I know that he can admit he's wrong, doesn't have to be right all the time.
Did you think for 1 minute I was going to let that kid's career go down the tube? I was just working up the courage to admit the dumb thing I did. Stop grinning at me.
All right. Would you mind terribly, Mr. Buchanan, if I held your hand? I mean, if I frown.
No, and, just maybe we might be getting back to where we once were.
You think it's because you're stuck in the hospital? I hope not.
Me too. Tell me what I've missed. You know, how Clinton, Vicky, Tina. Oh, yeah. I mean it. I am not lying. The mention of that woman's name, I'm telling you, my ribs really start to hurt. I'm not kidding. Maybe Tina.
Honey.
Go on, Vicky. If our father stored away something so wonderful for me, I'm sure he didn't leave anything terrible for you.
Tina, I certainly understand that you were delighted and touched by what you found in your envelope. Nonetheless, that part of Father's life was hidden.
And you're afraid that there might be something harmful to you inside that envelope.
Dorian, be my guest. Open yours. I'm not as afraid as I was before.
Vicky, I know in my heart that it's nothing bad.
Oh, well then, don't touch the envelope. If she knows something in her heart, disaster is bound to be right around the corner.
You are not going to get to me, Dorian. Not right now. I am feeling much too wonderful about all this. Besides, I know now how my father felt about me, but then how he felt about you, that's always been under question, hasn't it? Hasn't it, Vicky? Vicky.
You know, for most of my life, Father was quite wonderful. Unfortunately, I have let the secret room and one terrible memory destroy most of the good ones. And I think it's very silly to be so afraid of the unknown. This is my high school yearbook picture. Dear fellow high school graduates, my valedictorian speech.
Yes, of course you would be valedictorian.
My father was so proud of this. I rewrote it about 15 times because he kept telling me, it's not your best, Vicky. Victoria, you must rewrite this. You can do better than that. And I did, and I did, and I did. And then finally I went to him and I said, Father, I hope you like this because this truly is the best that I can do. And he smiled, and he refused to read it. He said he wanted to hear it at graduation.
What kind of a grade did he give you?
That was the day that he said, now I know the banner will be in good hands when I die.
Wow. And then he put it away someplace so safe that even a nuclear bomb couldn't harm it.
Yes, he did, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Just the same way he didn't want an old bomb to destroy the proof of who I am either.
I wonder what Victor could have cherished about me that he would want to save.
We'll open up the envelope, Dorian, and find out.
Well, I think it's about time to get this baby home into bed.
So early?
Well, it's not that early, really.
Yeah, I guess that's right. God, you have to adjust to their schedules instead of vice versa, huh?
Yeah, so what? Kids are worth it, especially this one.
Yeah, but Rafe, I want to admit something to you. She scares me. She really does. I mean, what if I ever did something wrong or anything?
Well, as long as you keep her welfare in mind, you'll never do anything wrong, Clover. It's common sense more than anything. Well, you think I knew what I was doing at first?
Yeah, but don't you ever feel like you're getting tired of her or something? You know, I mean, it seems like kids could be a pain, too. You gotta have so much patience.
Well, the patience sort of comes with the love, you know?
And the sauces in Paris are so incredible that if we hadn't walked around as much as we did, I probably would have gained about 20 pounds.
Perhaps, but you would always be a pretty lady.
Oh, radar. We talk about Paris, France, and he hears all the way from Ace's mansion.
No. I was thinking about you. I had to come to see your diner. More importantly, you.
Thank you very much. Jean-Claude, these are two very good friends of mine. This is Dee Buchanan. She's married to Ace's younger son, Bo, and this is her uncle, Pete O'Neill.
Bonjour, monsieur. Nice to meet you.
Our French friend here is from Maracaibo, and lady Pamela brought him over here to help around at the house.
And you're enjoying yourself here?
I miss my friends on Maracaibo. It was very lonely, at least until...
Petey, just tell me, is it true that all Frenchmen are born romantic?
Well, where I come from, it certainly is true.
Well, I wouldn't know about that because I was in Paris with the world's most romantic American.
Come on, Dorian, open the envelope. What? Who was it who said that we have nothing to fear but fear itself?
Yes, well, I've just found that out myself. But Dorian, I can certainly understand your reluctance, and if you're afraid, I have no intention of forcing you.
No, it's not that I'm afraid, no. But as you recall, your father did sometimes have a rather bizarre sense of humor, and I'm worried that perhaps this is some kind of ultimate practical joke of his. I certainly do not wish to be the butt of it.
Why, what kind of relationship did the two of you have? Well, maybe I was wrong in suggesting that you were afraid. Sounds like to me that you're being guilty.
Our marriage was like any other. There were wonderful times, and then sometimes it was rather troubled.
And how was it when Victor died? I'd like to take a guess and say it was trouble.
Tina, stop it! This is difficult enough for Dorian.
Thank you, Vicky, but that's not necessary. You know, Tina, Victor may have been very sentimental about a beautiful little blonde baby girl, but if he had known how you would grow up, he would have burned your birth certificate.
All right, both of you, stop it, please.
She's just trying to avoid opening the envelope.
For once in your life, you are accurate. I don't want to open the damned envelope.
Fine,
okay?
then I will.
Don't you touch it.
Please, both of you. Now look, we made an agreement before we opened the box that the contents would remain secret. Dorian, you don't have to be afraid of us. We don't even have to know what is in your envelope.
Oh, now, wait a minute here. We don't know what's in there. Anything could be. I mean, he could have written her out of the will, and I could take over her part of the estate.
Shut up, Tina. You cannot. Nothing goes beyond this room.
Oh, all right.
Huh. Vicky, dear, you don't really for a moment believe anything that Tina says, do you? I certainly do.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
You fake! It's my envelope. I can do with it as I wish.
Oh, yeah, you are some coward. You know, it was all a lie, wasn't it? All about how much Victor loved you. All the rumors are true, aren't they?
How would you like to eat this lighter for dinner?
Okay, cut it out. Both of you. Now, look, we have to resolve it. If you want to burn it, Dorian, go ahead. Nobody's going to stop you.
No, we took our chances.
Why didn't Victor practice birth control before he seduced Irene Manning? All right, I'll open it. I certainly don't want to be doomed to a life when I can't look Tina in the eye. Tina, dear, I want you to be the first one to look at this. Oh, Vicky, keep an eye on that lighter. Don't let her anywhere near it.
It's a certificate of divorce.
That's right.
Victor Lord and Irene Manning Lord.
Victor was not a bigamist. Victor loved me, and he wanted to make sure that I got what I was entitled to. And I am entitled to half of his estate, and there is nothing that you can do about it. Oh, Tina, thank you. Thank you so much for goading me into opening that envelope.
Well. I'm glad that's resolved. So, our father was not a bigamist. Aren't you pleased, Tina?
I'm thrilled.
Oh, I'm going to make copies of this. No. I'm going to make billboards of it. I'm going to see to it that it is run in every newspaper across America.
No, you're not.
Oh, come on, Vicky, come on. Under the circumstances,
Dorian,
surely...
not out of this room. Now, what else is in the envelope?
Oh. I got so excited I forgot all about what was in the envelope. There were some letters. It's in my handwriting. Oh. Wait, I think, yes. These are love letters that I wrote Victor. I didn't write him very many. Just a few, but
He's kept them.
Tucked away safely, where even a nuclear war couldn't destroy them.
So, he did love me after all. There was something about me that he cherished. And Vicky, I know that you find it terribly hard to believe, but the feeling was mutual.
Okay, I've heard your side of things. But, I think we could leave it at that for now. I've got to go.
Lisa, wait a minute. When are you coming home for...
Oh, please.
No, for dinner. Your mother's been wondering.
When I can look my mother in the face and not burst into tears, that's why.
I made one big mistake and you're ready to give up on me.
2 mistakes, counting Bobby.
I never did anything to Bobby. I mean, I won't deny that I had an affair. I tried to resist, but I couldn't. I just got carried away, trying to be young again. But look, you got carried away, revolting against your parents and our lifestyle. Well, can't we call that even?
Look, maybe you can, but I can't. You and Mom smothered me with the parents' practical guide to perfect living. All I did was break away to try to figure things out for myself. I never tried to hurt you.
And I wasn't seeing Stella to hurt you or your mother.
Well, I wish that I can believe that this is your first affair. I'm sorry, Dad, but I just remember all those nights that you were working. It's just too many nights.
Lisa, you don't know what you're talking about. How can you accuse me of lying for years?
When you stop lying about Bobby, then maybe I can believe you, okay? But right now, since I've announced that I don't have a father anymore, I think it's only right that I don't take his money. So I'm gonna pay for my own bills right now. Besides, I think it's long overdue.
Lisa? You all right?
I'm gonna have to get out of my room. I had to tell my father I'm not taking his money anymore.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Lisa, just stay in the room. Look, I'm not overbooked at all. Just stay there and pay me what you can pay me, but don't worry about it. We'll take care of it later, okay?
Rob, you do that for me?
Why not? I can do anything. I own the place, right?
Oh, you're so sweet. Now, I promise that I won't take long. If you need the room for anything, just let me know.
Your rent is not going to make or break me, okay?
Oh, thank you.
It's all right.
Maybe I'll see you later.
Okay. See ya.
Rob.
Mr. Barron?
Don't worry about Lisa's rent money. I'll take care of it. She doesn't have to know that.
No, it's all right.
Oh, it's all right. I wanted to. In fact, I insist.
Mr. Barron, Lisa's a friend of mine, and I'm going to do what she wants me to do, not you.
Hi, sis. Oh, hi, Dee Dee.
You ready?
I thought you guys were going to eat at the diner.
Oh, we thought you were going to cook dinner for us.
He's just kidding. I thought you had a date tonight. No, I didn't have a date. Chip has to work, and I don't feel like hanging out at Elmo's. Is there something wrong? No.
Not even maybe a little bit wrong?
All right. My friend Chrissy, we were going to go to the movies tonight, and she came over here, and we had a big fight, and so I threw her out of here. Over Chip? No, not over Chip. Over Pete.
Pete, you had a fight over me?
Yeah. Some dumb newspaper in Philadelphia says that you blew the trial. Well, because of your alleged drinking problem.
Yeah, I read that sterling bit of journalism.
See, Chrissy's parents showed her, and she showed me. Pete, I swear some people are so tacky. I told her you had it licked a long time ago, and it had nothing to do with Clint's defense.
Well, you're right about that, but I'm sorry I caused a fight between you and a friend.
Excuse me, am I missing something here? Oh, my God. You don't know that Pete used to be...
A drunk. The word's drunk, Joy. It's all right. I was the worst kind of drunk there was, Dee Dee, but that was a long time ago. Some things happened. I had I had some drinks. I drank for a couple days, but that's over. I haven't had a drink since the morning of Clint's trial.
Did they smell it on your breath? Is that how the story got started?
I guess so.
It could cost you your career, couldn't it?
Oh, no, I doubt that.
Could it keep you from being district attorney?
What?
Well, I heard that Herb Callison is just acting DA, and there's going to be a special election. I was going to suggest it to you.
That is a great, great, great idea.
Come on, don't tell me that you haven't even thought about it.
Well, it may have crossed... No, no way.
Who persuaded me to run for the president of Lord Manning?
Well, I have tried your lentil soup. Now, I want you to try my quenelle de brochet. Quenelle de brochet is a very delicate dish that must be prepared by two people in intimate surroundings.
Thank God I don't have a stove in my bedroom.
Well, Wanda and Jean-Claude are sure having a good time, huh?
Yeah. Well, so are we. Right?
What, Clover, if I had to tell you?
Well, come on, Rafe. You can't blame me for just wanting to make sure you're feeling the same thing I am.
I always have a good time with you. Hey, how'd you like to come home with me and help put this little lady to sleep, and then we can grab a nightcap?
Sure. You know, it's so nice not to be working tonight. I tell you, that place, Elmo's, is just too crowded, and Theo is so cheap, he doesn't even put enough waitresses on the floor at night.
Well, doesn't that put more money in your pocket?
Well, sure, but who has the energy to spend it? Besides, I know it's never going to be enough to live the way I really want to, and besides being in so much debt and everything, I just know it's going to be crazy. You know, Asa, he's going to write off that thing as a tax loss, but me...
So what would you do with a lot of money if you had it?
Everything I felt like doing. I think if I were you, it might bother me being the only poor Buchanan around. Oh, I didn't mean any offense by that.
Clover, I don't think of myself as a Buchanan. The name is Garrettson.
I knew that. I'm sorry.
And I make enough money to live okay and take care of Sammy. I enjoy my work as a cop, so...
Yeah, wish I could think that way, but I never have. Anyway, I think we ought to get your kid to sleep, you know. You have to wake her up just to put her to bed.
Nah, she'll probably stay out.
It must be nice being a baby. I tell you, everybody making such a fuss and everything, and you don't even have to worry about paying any bills.
To Father, and to the wonderful gifts that he gave us this evening.
To Father.
To Victor. Here, here.
I don't know if I'm carrying this too far or not, but maybe you were right, Tina. Maybe he did know that this was going to happen.
You mean that we'd open the box together?
Mm-hmm.
That is an interesting thought. I mean, 3 envelopes in one place.
Well, he must have known that the secret room would be found eventually. And then that I'd know that he was my father.
Well, I'm sure he figured that Irene would have told you sooner or later.
Though I'm sure that he couldn't have envisioned that the 3 of us would get together with a sledgehammer, break through a brick wall, and find the box.
Well, maybe he thought we'd all be down there for a war or something like that.
Yeah. Well, that is providing that we had found the room before the war started.
I wasn't really looking for a logical answer, and I'm not sure that we'll ever come up with one, but he did seem to know that we would find that box together. And how very much it would mean to all of us.
Yes. Especially if he had any idea what problems would have been caused by the revelations about his personal life.
Now, is that a crack against me?
It wasn't originally intended as one, but you should feel free to take it as one if you wish.
You know, you always act as if you have more of a right to him than I do. You know, that really bothers me, Dorian.
You know what really bothers you? The fact that I have a right to his money.
I knew that this pleasant interlude wouldn't last forever. So, I think we should call an end to it before it disintegrates entirely.
Agreed. Although I do want to say that I am very happy that I found all this instead of all the jewels in the world. I have my father now.
Yes, and I have recovered my husband.
And I recovered a part of my father that I was dangerously close to losing. I want to thank you two for convincing me to open the box and for reminding me that there is good and bad in everyone.
Except Tina, of course.
Just kidding.
Well,
I personally can't wait till I can tell all the newspapers and everything tomorrow about my birth certificate.
Over my very dead body, little sister.
One woman and the man she loves are being torn apart.
Whether you want to believe me or not, this baby is Jeremy's. Now, I'm not trying to cause you any trouble, but it is an inescapable fact.
An evil trick.
You may well be the father of Mrs. Hunter's child.
A vengeful game. Who will win?
Tomorrow is going to be the happiest day of our lives.
A love that could last forever is threatened on All My Children, weekdays.
Dee Dee, I'm flattered, but forget it, please.
Pete, you would make a phenomenal DA. Come on, aren't you a little ambitious?
Yeah, I'm a little ambitious. But it might mean dragging up my past, the alcoholism. I don't want to have to go through that, and I don't want you to have to go through it.
Okay, you dealt with the problem, right? And you took care of it. You'd be an inspiration to people.
Okay, look at it this way. Alcoholism is a disease, right? What's the difference than you fighting that or you fighting cancer and winning?
Because people don't know the difference. They still think alcoholism is a moral issue. It's a weakness of character.
So you'd be educating the public at the same time, wouldn't you?
Listen, please, my favorite niece, go back to Roma, Paris, stuff your face.
No. I was blind, for heaven's sakes, and you made me run for the president of Lord Manning. I didn't want to do that, but I did it. I'm not going to let you back out on this.
Wait a minute, it wasn't my idea. It was your idea.
Was it my idea to be the president?
Yeah, I think you're outvoted. And if Connie were here, you sure would be. 3 against 1.
And as my father would say, 3 could turn into 300.
Right, and where is Connie? Is
No, don't change the subject. We're talking about the election for district attorney.
Yeah, right. I don't know. It's not like Herb Callison doesn't have ghosts of his own. They did take the governorship away from him for illegal campaign contributions.
There you go. You guys have both changed. The voters aren't going to vote one of you guys as a saint and the other a sinner.
She's right.
Well, I hope I don't regret this impulsive decision to run.
Attaboy! Yay! Vicky, when we made that agreement, we were worried about what was inside that box.
That's true, Vicky. And there was nothing in it that we have to be ashamed of.
That doesn't matter. I don't want this whole town buzzing about Father again, or any of us. My God, haven't we had enough publicity over our private lives?
But none of it's been good.
Yes, and whose fault is that?
Not mine.
All right, let's not fix blame here, all right? Let's just stick to the promises we made. I insist on it.
Now, Vicky, wait a minute. There are a lot of people out there who think that Victor married me bigamously, and they have no idea why Tina dropped her lawsuit against me.
Oh, Dorian, you want to talk about unkept promises?
Oh, yes. Don't you dare bring up that ticky-tacky subject in front of your sister.
Fine, I think we should make a pact that none of us are going to do anything to hurt the other one again. I mean, we're going to start acting like a family here. 2 sisters and a stepmother, and we'll have dinner. We'll go shopping, have lunch.
Does that mean you are going to abandon your claim against Landfair and my estate?
Yes, if you did that, Vicky would almost want to have lunch with you.
Of course not. Look, finding my birth certificate and this locket and everything only makes my claim stronger. I would think you'd want to drop your suit. Look, the judge is going to be more inclined to go along with me now, too.
Meaning that this will be all over town tomorrow, right?
Oh, and I suppose if it is, you're going to hate me again.
When did she stop?
Look, Tina, a little while ago, just a few minutes ago, we had a closeness that I would dearly love to keep forever. But if you insist on publicizing this and bringing up all the old stories, and you too, Dorian...
Wait a minute. I never promised anything one way or another.
You, both of you, made me a solemn promise.
Well, that was before we knew it was in the box.
Can't I ever take either one of you at your word?
Vicky, it would be different if I thought there was anything in here that could possibly hurt you.
Of course it's going to hurt me. The press is going to have a field day with this. Haven't I been through enough?
We've all been through a lot.
Yeah, I'll agree with that, and I think it's time to go.
Tina, wait a minute. Dorian, you too. Please, wait. Look, we have all just shared something quite wonderful. The proof of Victor's love, it brought us very close for a minute. Come on, both of you were on the verge of tears, and so was I. I beg of you, both of you, please, let's keep the promise we made each other. Father! I just pray that there won't be any more secrets from the grave.
Tripoli time. That's 1:15 in the afternoon, New York time. There's now no one outside driving on the street. The city is completely dark, except for the lights given off by the flares of the rockets and anti-aircraft fire into the night sky. This is Charles Glass for ABC News. With me is John Cooley. We're standing here, we're actually crouching here at the Al Kabir Hotel on the Tripoli seafront.
ABC's...
A moment of relative quiet. We hear something that sounds like an aircraft engine, another explosion, possibly a bomb being dropped, because it didn't sound like any of the outgoing shore batteries we've been hearing. If that bomb is dropped, it's impossible to tell what its target might have been. We know that last night's targets were the compound of Colonel Gaddafi. We know that his daughter was killed in that bomb explosion at his compound, and that 2 of his young children were very severely wounded. We know that another target of last night's attack was the former Wheelus Air Base, now a Libyan Air Force base, once until 1970 an American air base. We know also that a residential neighborhood was hit in last night's raid, and that at least 14 civilians were killed. Now, sudden quiet. We don't know how long it will last. The air raid alert could be over. The firing has stopped.
We cannot tell you the specifics of what is happening in terms of who may be involved, but that was ABC's Charles Glass, as he described it on the balcony of the Al Kabir Hotel on the Libyan seafront. Now at the old Executive Office building in Washington, President Reagan, who's going to make a speech to the American Business Conference, but is going to open with remarks about Libya.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, and welcome to the White House. I've never gotten over feeling strange when I say that, but they tell me that I'm supposed to call it part of the White House. But before discussing the topic at hand, let me talk to you briefly about the events that took place last night. Yesterday, as you know, pilots of the air and naval forces of the United States spoke to the outlaw Libyan regime in the only language that Colonel Gaddafi seems to understand. They performed courageously. 2 of our airmen are missing. But let us be clear, yesterday the United States won but a single engagement in the long battle against terrorism.
Tomorrow's Action News at 5 p.m.
We now join One Life to Live, already in progress, where today Richard shatters Tina's joy over her legacy by telling her she's a lying manipulator. Connie's shocked that Brad's friend Charlie is a gorgeous woman. Vicky's afraid that Tina will reveal the contents of Victor's legacy. We now join One Life to Live.
On me.
Look, this isn't an act. Look, I know what I did was wrong.
It was more than wrong. It was out and out illegal, and you made me a party to it.
I did what I had to do. If I'd left it with Dorian and Vicky, they would have destroyed that box.
Oh, come on. Why would they ever do that?
Because they were afraid. They were afraid of what kind of secrets of Victor Lords might be kept in there, but I wasn't afraid. I had to know.
Know what?
Richard, would you look at this? Just look here. I mean, this is from my father, and this is the most precious gift anybody has ever given me in my entire life. Look, I know it just likes a little hair and a little locket to anybody else, but not to me. You know why? Because I have never belonged to anybody in my life. I felt like I just came from nowhere, but now I know that I come from Victor Lord. And his family is my family. And he wanted me to know that. He was telling me that by giving this to me. So I don't care what you think. You can just hate me if you want to, but I am glad. I am so glad I broke into Ace's house last night.
slipped your mind, Mr. Buchanan. You promised to make an honest woman out of me.
Who, me?
Don't you try and back out of that now. Ooh, you devil.
Well, sweetheart, the thing is, we've been having so much fun and being so happy living in sin. I just hate to take a chance on ruining anything.
Very fine. Gotcha. Oh, I'm gonna get it.
Mom, Dad, is it really true?
What's that?
Kim told us you were getting married. Are you?
Very good question. Ask your father.
So Kim told... Well, I'll tell you what. Let me tell you... Wait a minute. How come you kids aren't in school today, huh?
Spring vacation. Answer the question.
Oh, okay. All right. Look, you know, it's a funny thing, but your mom said the same thing. And if there's one thing I learned, you don't disagree with your mother.
You so-and-so! What your father really means is that he would consider it a privilege, a distinct pleasure, an honor. It would be so wonderful for him even to have the opportunity to marry me again. That's what he means. Don't you?
People always get married twice?
No, not always. But you see, some fellas are fortunate, and they get a second chance.
Can we be there, please? Yeah, can we go?
Of course you're going to be there. You see, I'm going to give your father a ring, and he is going to give me a ring, right? Mm-hmm. We expect you two to be the ring bearers.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Well, now look, ring bearing is pretty heavy responsibility. You think you can handle it?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, excuse me, now get it. I'll be right back. Hello.
Mrs. Clint Buchanan,
Speaking.
please. Mrs. Buchanan, this is Barbara in Dr. Balsam's office. I'm confirming your appointment for today.
Oh, right.
Now, I know we said noon, but there's been a cancellation. Could you make it sooner, say 11 a.m.?
That's fine. I'll be there, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Who's that?
Oh, nobody.
Oh, you hear that? Your mother has got an important date with somebody named Nobody. What do you think of that? Ain't that fun?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I mean, if you must know, I just have an appointment at 11 o'clock.
Fine. Now we're getting somewhere. With whom?
Delilah. Well, I mean, I'm getting married tomorrow. I need a wedding dress, don't I?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You dare call that breakfast, nurse?
It's the egg of the day, Mr. Buchanan.
That looks like last month's kitty litter. I ordered eggs Benedict, not pitiful little yellow things that you call eggs.
I'm sorry, but the doctor said that you have to...
The doctor said the doctor doesn't eat the slop. I do. And what is with you?
Yes, sir. About your TV.
I don't want TV. I want you to bring back my stock computer.
Your doctor left strict instructions.
Forget my doctor. What he doesn't know, my heart beats better to the tune of the Dow Jones averages. Now, I understand one thing. Why you people treat me like an invalid? All I have was an itsy-bitsy collapse.
Oh, I can see things are back to normal.
Oh, Pamela, help me straighten out these two angels of mercy.
Darling, listen, he's really not a bear. He just acts like one.
Pamela.
That's all right, ignore him. You know, if you can, just get out of your job. Go ahead.
Yes, Mrs. Buchanan?
Thank you, Mrs. Buchanan.
Last time I looked, this was my own private room.
Well, it still is, just not your own private domain, honestly. You act worse than a boy who's having his tonsils taken out. At least a boy without tonsils doesn't talk.
Wow, that's the way you treat an invalid?
You know you're impossible. Well, as soon as you don't get your own way, then suddenly you're an invalid again. I don't know whether I should kiss you or give you, a spanking.
I'll tell you, honey, I was kind of looking forward to your spanking.
Oh, I see. You know, you really can be a sweetheart when you want to be, can't you? You know, when you first came back in here, you were almost lovable.
Well, honey, I gotta tell you, that was because I was glad I was alive.
Yes.
And I was glad you were beside me.
Well, now, where else did you think I would be?
I wasn't sure. People say that I haven't done much to deserve your loyalty and devotion.
Well, they'd be right. But that's the strange thing about love, isn't it? Doesn't always go to the person that deserves it. Sometimes it just goes to the person who needs it.
I need you, Pamela.
I know you do.
How about you? You need a spoiled little brat?
Still has his tonsils? You bet. Ooh, what are they feeding you?
Good morning, Mrs. Buchanan. Mr. Buchanan.
Ah, well, good morning, Dr. Hall. Asa, say good morning.
Don't you ever think that you're going to stick that horse needle in me again, Doc.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to. But first, I'd like to know if you've been indulging in any more self-medication.
What the hell kind of a question is that?
A pretty logical question, considering what happened last time.
I made a mistake. I am dumb. I am not stupid. I learned my lesson.
I'm very glad to hear that. Now, roll over, because this is going to hurt you a lot more than it's going to hurt me.
And what exactly has Bud told you about me?
Oh, not much.
Oh?
Charlie, what about the horses?
Just that you're an old friend?
An old friend?
Charlie, what did you find out about the horses?
I figured that you were another lady jock or maybe a hot walker.
A hot walker?
That's racetrack talk. I told you you'd find this boring.
Oh, I don't find this boring at all, darling. As a matter of fact, Charlie, Bud and I are old, close friends.
Oh, I see.
The horses, Charlie, what'd you find out about the horses?
Then you live here in Baltimore, too, huh?
No, unfortunately not.
Yeah, that is unfortunate.
Charlie.
Charlie. Relax, babe. I told you I'd get the lowdown on Barron, and I got it.
Can you trace the bloodlines?
Bloodlines? What bloodlines? There isn't a drop of champion's blood in any of those horses. Every one of Barron's horses are one step away from the glue factory.
Then how come they keep winning?
One race, babe. Each horse wins one big race, and then they're put out to stud for some very hefty fees.
You know what I'm asking, don't you?
Drugs? Yeah. Talk around the track is that the horse had to be doped up to win, but nobody can prove anything.
Maybe I could take a later flight.
I don't think that's a good idea, do you?
Yes.
Look, somebody has to be back in Landview to check my post office box.
Oh, yes. Dare us not forget the message from Jenny.
You came into this with your eyes wide open. Now, don't start with Jenny, all right?
No, you're the one who starts everything with Jenny. Our time together is measured by how many hours I'm away from your post office box.
How many times do I have to say it? Jenny and I have an understanding. Wherever she is, she checks my messages, I check for hers.
I can handle that. Barely.
Then what's the big deal?
There's no big deal. Only a small blonde one named Charlie.
Come on, Charlie works for me.
Oh, I know. She's your hot walker.
No, she rides Lucky Opal, and I'm lucky to have her.
Oh, I bet you are. And who else does Charlie ride? That's a joke. I have a sense of humor. I can keep my sense of humor about this, okay? So you're working with a blonde jockey who calls you babe. Are you having an affair with her?
I was waiting for that.
Is that a yes or a no?
Have you forgotten this is how you ruined things between us before, this mindless jealousy?
Have you forgotten why I broke up the engagement? You just can't help yourself from flirting, can you, Brad?
Bud Van Dyke is a little bit more than a recluse, Mr. Barron. He's a total mystery.
You ran a thorough background check.
What background? I've been through the Baltimore Hall of Records here. He, no birth certificate, no educational transcripts. The man didn't exist until he filled out a deed on Genmar Farms.
Now, you checked with the Maryland Racing Association.
Yes, and the only thing they know about him is he owns one incredible horse named Lucky Opal. The unbeatable jewel, they call that horse. Well, almost unbeatable. Lucky Opal lost last night to some nag named Red Baron.
I don't pay you for your opinion of horseflesh. I pay for information. Here.
Well, if you want me to keep digging...
I do, I'll call you.
Yes, sir. A pleasure, as always.
I don't like mysteries, Mr. Van Dyke. And I don't like you. Whoever you are.
When I was very young, my mother died. And then I thought my father was somebody else. I thought he was, a criminal. Until very recently. I guess that's why I'm such a mess.
You're not a mess.
Oh, you may have messed up your life a few times.
Yeah, more than a few.
But that's understandable.
It is? Nobody else has ever want to understand. I mean, they just always want to blame me for everything that goes wrong.
Well, I'm not saying you shouldn't accept some of the blame. But we're not just victims of circumstance, Tina. We make our own luck, too.
Yeah, it's part of my problem, too. I have the same kind of luck all the time. Bad.
It wasn't bad luck you found in that strong box, now was it? And this locket, the birth certificate. Now that's positive proof that your luck's changing.
You really think so?
Yes, I really think so. And just because you had it tough when you were a kid, it doesn't mean that it's going to be like that always.
I wish I could believe that.
Tina, you have to believe it. Your father left you a sign of his love. But more important, he left you a message. You're a lord. You deserve the very best that life has to offer.
Hearing you say that, I can almost believe it.
Then why don't you say it to yourself a few times? Be selfish for once.
Why, you are new in town, aren't you?
Look, I know that most people think that, that you've been selfish and then some. But I think that they're wrong. I mean, you've spent most of your life trying to win everyone's approval. You haven't had time to be good to yourself.
You know something? You are absolutely right. You are a very good judge of people. I guess that's why you make such a good newspaper man, huh?
Newspaper. Which reminds me, Briggs is probably going to hold the front page of the Banner until I get back to the office.
Oh, I wish you didn't have to rush off. I mean, I'm starting to feel okay about myself.
You are okay. You just remember what I said.
Richard, thank you.
For what?
For listening.
Anytime. You have a wonderful day.
I'll try.
And I will remember what you said. I'll be good to myself, starting with my friends. I want people around me like you, Richard Abbott. Yes, I think you are perfect for me.
Vicky?
Oh, Josh. I'm sorry, I didn't even see you standing there.
Are you okay?
Fine, why?
Well, I saw your name on a list of patients scheduled for examination by Dr. Balsam this morning.
Oh, Josh, I would appreciate it very much if you wouldn't say anything about that to anybody, especially not my husband.
Sure, if that's what you want.
I mean, I'm not trying to keep something from him. It's just that I'll tell the family in my own way if and when the time comes, all right?
Vicky, I understand.
Thank you.
Mrs. Buchanan? Yes. Dr. Balsam will see you now.
Thank you.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
You don't have to do that, Pamela.
Dr. Hall said you might be able to go home this afternoon.
You looking forward to it?
Yes. And no.
Why the no?
Well, I think you already know the answer to that.
Yeah, fights, doubts. We can't even agree on how to cook chili.
With beans.
No, ma'am. Good Texas chili is definitely... Oh, shoot, Pam. I can live with beans.
Well, I can live without them.
You mean that?
Yes, I do. You know, in spite of all the disagreements we have, I still can't help thinking that we can get it back.
Get what back?
Oh, I don't know, the way that we were. You know, that wonderful sense of freedom and support we had when we were back in Malacaba.
Honey, Malacaba was beautiful, but it was not paradise.
To me, it was.
With me, lying every step of the way, pretending to be someone I was not.
The lies really hurt. But I can't help forgetting the love that we shared. I mean, that was not a lie, Asa, and you know it.
You love Jeb Stewart, not Asa.
Oh, I don't know. That's what I used to think. But I want you to know the man that I loved then and the man that I love now happens to be you.
I'm gonna tell you something, honey. I really don't deserve you know that?
Yes, I know that.
I mean it. I mean, you're making me, you know, you have more faith in me than I have in myself, and I'm gonna try not to disappoint you.
Oh, Asa, that's all I'm gonna ever ask you. If we could recreate what we had in Malakeva, I know...
No, forget Malakeva. We can have our paradise here in Landview.
Oh, I hope so, too, but I...
No, leave the islands to the natives. Right now, I've got all I ever want in my life right in this room.
That is the sweetest thing.
Honey, you may be just the first woman ever to take me as I am.
I suppose, in a way, that you could
Honey,
say that...
you know all my faults. And you're not hell-bent to make me into something I'm not or something you'd like me to be. I love you for that. Most of all.
No, I'm thinking I'd better head back home.
Well, wait, I'm going to be here a lot longer.
Well, I know. It's just that I thought I'd better get back there and, to the mansion and get things set up so it's all ready by the time you get there.
What did I say? I mean, are you a gem or a what you are?
I will be back.
Oh.
I'll be back to pick you up just as soon as checkout.
Well, don't work too hard now. With you there, the house is perfect just as it is.
Right.
But before I tell you the details here, I know I am really putting myself in the line here for some criticism.
So, what else is new? You told me that you have a juicy story for me, Tina. That's what my readers want. The juicier, the better.
Well, I am sorry to disappoint you, Dean, but I no longer deal in gossip.
Right. And Las Vegas no longer deals in slot machines.
I'm serious. Look, you were looking at the new Tina Lord, and that's exactly what your reader's going to read in that story, my very sweet and touching story.
I get it. This is a fantasy.
Look, my father's legacy is no fantasy here. I mean, you must know about the strong box we found here at Land Fair.
When Tracy James and that Stickley creep went bye-bye? Okay, now we're getting somewhere. What was in that box? Jewels? Stocks? Bonds? What?
My birth certificate.
Your what?
Well, and then this little locket right here.
And that's it?
What do you mean that's it? That is everything. Don't you know what this means to me? Don't you know what this means to a story? Look here, Dean. The poor little rich girl is no longer poor. I mean, that's what this means here. It means that I am actually Victor Lord's daughter, his beloved daughter. It is not boring.
To you, maybe it's not. But to my readers, that doesn't compare with the baby who landed the airplane after his father dropped dead of a heart attack. It's got no zip, no zap, no controversy.
Oh, yeah? You want to bet? I mean, when Vicky and Dorian read this story, they're going to hit the ceiling. They made me vow not to tell anybody what was in the box.
Then why are you telling me?
Well, because it's time I stopped trying to worry about pleasing everybody else. There's a very nice, handsome man told me it's time to be a little selfish and time to be good to myself.
Vicky, honey, what are you doing here?
Oh, Wanda.
I know. You're going to see Asa. Just like me, we'll check in on him. Can you point me in the right direction, please?
Vicky, I said, could you... Oh, Vicky, have you been here to see a doctor?
Yeah. Oh, no. You don't have to worry yet.
If there's anything that I could do, if you want to talk about anything...
Yeah. I think talking about it might help. Come on, I'll walk you down to Ace's room, and maybe you can help me decide what to do.
Let me help you.
I can see why you love this place so much. Horses are really beautiful. Races are really exciting. Tough place to walk away from.
Yeah, Connie,
I know. I have to go back to Landview and play post office.
Have I told you how much I appreciate your help? Not to mention your understanding.
Hey, what are friends for?
We're more than friends, and you know it. And I promise faithfully that I will call you.
Yeah, we'll probably burn up the old wires.
Yeah. And I'll even write letters, and you know how much I hate to do that. And the next free weekend you have to come back to Baltimore, okay?
Okay, sure. Whatever. You know me, I don't want to make things harder for you. I just want you, baby. That's all I want.
Come on, come on.
Okay. Okay, so you had an affair with a blonde jockey, and she calls you babe. I can see that. I mean, she's cute, kind of funny. You hadn't run into me again. That's okay. I can understand that. I can handle it. But no more Charlies, okay? Just promise me that. I want us to build something here.
Listen to me. Please, just listen to me. Now, there was a time I would look you right in the eye and tell you everything you wanted to hear and not mean a word of it.
It's okay. You can lie.
No, I can't. Not anymore. I can't make promises that I can't keep.
Great. My luck. I get an honest guy.
Can you take what I have to offer and not ask for a trust that I just can't give?
I guess I'm gonna have to. What choice do I have?
The strudel here is excellent. I'm glad you are in total agreement. Well, that depends on what you have for me. News. You mean you've traced our long-lost friends?
Our computers have indexed national points of entry on every continent.
Yes, I'm sure you're very thorough, Roman, but what have you come up with anything?
3 couples, all known by the name Mr. and Mrs. Brad Vernon.
Mm-hmm.
One in Singapore, another in Manitoba, yet another closer to home, right here in Austria.
And that is all you have? Just the names?
There are some other details. They mean nothing to my operatives, but perhaps to your trained and expert eye.
What the hell are you doing here so early, Clover?
Hey.
Scoring brownie points?
Yeah, so what if I am? Something wrong with that?
Well, no, but inventory. Yeah, this sure looks deadly to me.
Oh, I don't know. You might be surprised.
What's going on? Has Theo been putting the cheap booze into the expensive bottles again?
Would you believe that he's been buying about 50 bottles of liquor for every 100 he's charging his brother?
Wait a minute. I was just kidding. Are you telling me that Theo's been skimming off the top?
Oh, I'm not telling you anything. I'll just let these figures speak for themselves. You know, Theo's got just millions of tricks in every column of those numbers.
No, I don't believe it.
Come on, Chip, you've been around, haven't you?
Well, yeah, but I mean, come on. Stealing from your own brother, now that is the lowest.
Low, but clever. If I didn't know the bar business inside out myself, I wouldn't have noticed it. He could have gone on forever doctoring those books.
Well, now, wait a minute. You're not going to go to the cops with all this, are you?
It's what Theo deserves.
Well, yeah, I mean, maybe, but come on, it's not what I deserve. The cops come down on him, close this place down. I have no job, you have no job.
Chip, just relax, okay? I'm not going to do anything rash. I'm just considering my options right now because I really have a feeling this information could prove to be very valuable.
Okay, you come up with any big, smart ideas. You count me in, huh?
Well, just how long can it take to buy a dress?
A wedding dress? A very long time. And I wouldn't worry about Vicky, Clint. If you want to worry about somebody, why don't you worry about me?
Why? What's the matter?
Well, nothing yet. But when your father gets home from that hospital and he sees that I've redecorated his living room...
Oh, no, he's gonna like it. I mean, it's a little touch of Malakiva, you know, he's fine.
Yeah. Well, That's what I thought until I heard his little speech this morning.
Oh, what do you have to say?
Well, just that the reason he loves me so much is because I don't want to change him and that I'd accept him just the way he is, warts and all.
Pa doesn't have any warts.
Yeah, I know.
But that does sound like one of his speeches.
Oh, Clint, please, just stay here till he gets home. That way, when he sees the living room, if he does blow his top...
No, you know, I really would, but I've got to personally deliver a wedding invitation.
I'll take it for you. I mean, I could...
No, it's to Dorian. It's to Dorian.
Yeah, well, in that case, I guess I'd just rather take my chances with your father.
Look, he's gonna like it. He's gonna like it. By the way, would you have Vicky call me at WVLE as soon as she gets in?
Yeah, if I'm still breathing.
It was not very nice getting everybody all worried about you.
Wanda, honey, you think I want that wall to crash down on me?
I am not talking about the bomb. I'm talking about you playing doctor.
Oh, please, don't you lecture me. I mean, what, is every woman going to treat me like a child that I know?
Only when you act like a child.
Then I'm going to stay here. I can limit the lectures to just visiting hours.
No. Pamela and Jean-Claude will take very good care of you when you get home.
What the hell do I need with John Cloud?
Jean-Claude. He's French. Very French and très distingué.
Excuse me for living. Vicky, tell your friend here that I support American labor. I don't import foreigners.
Unlike you, Vicky has the brains to see a true gentleman and no one when she sees him.
Oh, the accent. Whoopee. You know, you've always been impressed with things, huh?
Not true. Took me a long time to realize I'd had any truck with you.
Vicky, you hear how she's talking to me? This man, I'm hovering at desk door. Vicky?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was daydreaming.
It must have been a hell of a dream. You were a million miles away.
Oh, come on now. The lady's getting married tomorrow. Believe me, she has other things on her mind beside your little troubles, huh?
That's all it is, Vicky? Just the wedding?
I wish you could have seen Vicky's face this morning. She was so happy about the way things turned out last night that, well, I just wanted to say thank you.
You're thanking me?
Yes, I mean, she couldn't have struck a truce all by herself. I know that you had to meet her halfway.
Well, all we did was agree to keep the secrets in the box a secret.
Well, that's a start, isn't it? I mean, if you're willing to go the extra mile, then, well, I'd do my damnedest to convince Vicky to share landfare with you.
To share landfare?
Yeah. I was thinking that you could have the West Wing all to yourself. That way you'd be living right here in the house just like the old days. What do you say?
You're forgetting what I found in that box.
Birth certificate and a locket, Vicky told me.
Did she also tell you what that means? That means by Victor keeping it all those years that he intended for me to share in his wealth.
No one is denying that, Tina. That's why I thought if you took one part of the house and we took the other part...
Look, the West Wing is already occupied by Richard. And he's very happy to be there, and I am very happy to have him there, so I really don't see any reason to change that.
By Richard. Tina, I'm sure Richard would be happy to find other accommodations. He knows as well as anyone what this house means to Vicky.
And what it means to me, especially now.
Tina, you're not going to try and deny the fact that Vicky was raised right here in Landfair, are you? I mean, this place holds so many great memories for her. Frankly, we were hoping to create some new ones.
What does that mean?
Well, tomorrow, Vicky and I are going to be remarried. And I know that it would make her very happy if the ceremony took place.
Oh, right here. Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. I could even throw you a nice little reception. That would be my gift.
Tina, we're not looking for a gift.
Aren't you?
No.
Isn't that what we're talking about here? I mean, me giving you an entire house that is rightfully mine?
Listen, if you want to talk about what's rightfully anybody's...
Yes?
Tina, look, you are legally entitled to some of Victor Lord's estate. No one is arguing that. The contents of the box bear that out.
thank you for admitting what is so obvious.
But then, since you are truly Victor Lord's daughter and Vicky's half-sister, why don't you start acting the part?
I have done my best to be a good sister to Vicky. She's the one who pushed me away.
All right, maybe. Maybe you should share the blame for that, Tina. But forget that, okay? It's in the past. The thing is that now you could start to be a part of our family. You got a chance to be a part of our family, not just legally, Tina, but in the truest sense of the word. Family. Now, don't let dollar signs get in the way.
Oh, I see. You'll give me your love and approval as long as I give you all the house and all the money you want.
You're twisting my words. I am not saying that.
Oh, well, aren't you? Well, I am sorry. But I want to be loved for me, not for what I can do for this family. And I have every moral and ethical right to this house.
A judge might say otherwise. What you have is a piece of paper.
No, I have a document signed by Victor Lord saying that if Vicky should ever become Nikki...
Right. I know that. I've memorized it. The whole kit and caboodle goes to you. I've memorized that, Tina. Stop and think for a minute, will you? A judge has already given Vicky custody of the box. Now, what do you think a judge is going to do about the house?
I'm not frightened. I will take my chances.
You have just had your chance, Tina. And you didn't even see it. Just like always, you're your own worst enemy.
As a new pair of jeans. And if you...
Man, Friday night.
This is my television show. Come to think of it, this is my television station. I can make a change in the show if I wish to.
Yes, of course you can, but to change the format now, just before we go on the air...
This can't wait. My viewers have a right to hear the latest news on Landview's hottest story.
Oh, which story is that?
Yes, indeed.
Which story is that?
Well, everybody's heard about the explosion at Landfair.
Well, that's hardly news at this point.
Oh, and what about the steel box, the one that was found in the secret room? I have seen that box. I was there when it was opened, and it contained something so exciting, so monumentally important.
What is it? What is it?
It was Victor Lord's divorce certificate from Irene Manning.
Big deal. Now, about your first guest for today.
What do you mean, big deal? It's terribly important for a number of reasons to me. But for one thing, the press made a joke of me when they assumed that Victor Lord had forgotten to divorce Irene before he married me. Now I want to make sure that everybody in this town finds out the truth. No matter what.
What do you mean, no matter what?
Well, I kind of made a rather rash, ill-conceived promise to Vicky that I wouldn't expose the contents of the box.
Well, maybe you should stick to your promise.
Listen, I have my journalistic ethics. I have my integrity. I mean, I just feel that the public has the right to know the truth.
I wish I'd said that.
No wisecracks. Please, would you go in and tell our esteemed director there'll be some changes in the show?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
I only hope you know what you're doing.
Dorian, you got a minute?
Yes, of course I do.
You can make this easy or you can make it hard. Doesn't matter to me. One way or the other, I'm going to find out who you really are.
Gee, I'd love to sit and chat, but I came here to win a race. I don't know about you.
The fun and games are over, Mr. Van Dyke, or whoever you are.
Let go, friend.
Get smart, friend. If you know what's good for you, you come clean. Now.
You have my word. As soon as we locate the Rinaldis, I'll let you know at once.
Excuse me, Herr Keller, there's a telephone call for you.
Oh, thank you. Wait here, will you? I think that's the call we're waiting for.
Keller here.
Good to hear your voice, Dirk.
And good to hear yours, Dick. I hope things are going well for you.
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm calling you.
The hunt has gone much better than it was expected.
You've run the fox to ground, have you?
Indeed I have. A fox named David Rinaldi. I don't know what you're trying to hide, Mr. Barron, but you look
I have
upset.
nothing to hide.
Neither do I. You can ask anyone around the track. They all know Bud Van Dyke.
Good old Bud didn't exist until 6 months ago. In fact, Bud Van Dyke doesn't have any history. No past, no reality at all.
You must be indulging in some of your pharmaceuticals, Mr. Barron. I'm as real as you are.
Not according to my sources.
What sources?
Private detective I hired to check you out. Only you don't check out. You don't even exist. Of course, if you want to keep on denying it, I'll keep on digging until I find out your real name and your real game.
Okay. What do you want?
You've been asking a lot of questions about my horses. That particular game has got to stop.
Oh, no. You see, that's not a game. Lucky Opal hasn't lost a race for me until that ringer stole one from him last night.
No one likes a bad loser.
Nobody likes a cheater either. Tell me something. You're going to put Red Baron out to stud with the rest of your old nags?
As you said, I'm in this to win. Winning means syndication and profits. It's all part of the sport.
Yeah. Well, what about drugging horses? Is that part of the sport, too?
Careful now.
You know they test every horse that runs in this track, but you're too smart for them, aren't you, Baron? Yeah, I think you've been doing a little late work in your lab. You came up with a drug that no one can detect. A drug that makes losers into winners for just one race.
I really don't give a damn what you think. As long as you keep your thinking to yourself.
And if I don't?
Well, I'm gonna have to do some more thinking about you. Which one of us has more to lose? I wonder.
Well, do you have any questions?
Yeah, when did you get time to do all this stuff?
Oh, I worked on it last night.
Must have worked all night from the look of it.
Oh, come on, I enjoy working on your campaign.
Takes your mind off the ball.
Bullseye.
When was the last time you heard from him?
Can we not talk about it?
You worried about him?
Well, just every minute of the day. He's in the jungle in Vietnam somewhere. I can't even call him. He can't call me. All I can do is pray to God that he's going to be all right.
Oh, yeah, I'm really sorry I brought it up to you.
It's all right. Really. Let's change the subject and talk about your campaign. I think I can take advantage of that winning smile.
Oh, really?
Hello, counselor. I didn't expect to find you here.
Yeah, I'll bet you didn't. Dee Dee, this is somebody you should meet, because she probably knows just about everything about you already. It's our intrepid assistant DA.
Maggie DeLakian.
Hi.
And you must be Pete's niece?
Yes, and I'm also his campaign manager at the moment.
But then you knew that, didn't you, Maggie?
I'm sure your uncle has told you some pretty terrible things about me.
Oh, well,
Well, they're true. See, we've been on opposite sides quite a few times. But I have nothing but respect for him.
You came here to pay your respects?
No, actually, I'm meeting somebody for lunch, but I guess I'm early.
Oh, aren't we lucky?
Look, would you like to join us for coffee?
No coffee, thanks, but I would like to sit and wait. Give me a chance to wish you luck in the race, Pete.
Yeah. Gee, thanks. What you don't know is that, what that means to me.
Well, no matter what you think of me, Pete, I believe that you and Herb are equally worthy. And Lance, you can't lose with either one of you as district attorney.
Now, that is very gracious of you. Isn't it, Pete?
Oh, yeah, it's very gracious, Dee Dee. Just watch your hands when you withdraw to count your fingers after you get one of those gracious handshakes.
Did it ever occur to you that you might be wrong about me?
No, it never occurred to me. What did occur to me is this no-chance meeting. Who told you I was going to be here with my campaign manager?
Nobody. I'm just meeting somebody for lunch.
Oh, really? And while you're waiting for this mysterious guest, if you just happen to overhear some campaign strategy, so much the better, right?
Oh,
You've got one hell of a nerve,
And
O'Neill.
so do you.
Oh, you think I got nothing better to do with my lunch hour than to come chasing after you?
I'm sure that's not what he meant at all.
That's exactly what I meant. Now, let me tell you something. You think I got a winning smile? You should check hers out. The only thing is it covers up this heart that's a computer instead.
I'm sorry, did I say I respect you? Well, let me revise that.
Well, if it isn't my two favorite dinner companions.
Oh, Woody, am I ever glad to see you.
Hey, well, thanks, Dee Dee. Have you and Pete recovered from that great lobster feast we had the other night?
Well, I have, but it seems something isn't agreeing with Pete.
You got that right.
Maggie, look, I'm really sorry I'm late. Did you get us a table?
You two are having lunch.
Well, that's the idea. Something wrong?
No. I was just explaining that there was nothing I'd rather do with my lunch hour than spend it with you.
Hey, smart lady. If you two will excuse us.
Have a great time.
Thanks.
Well, I hope you are really proud of yourself. You accused her of following you here to the inn, and she's here to have lunch with Woody.
Yeah. Question is, why?
And I couldn't let it pass. Not without saying thank you.
Well, that really isn't necessary.
Look, Dorian, take Take a compliment, will you? I know how much it must have meant to you finding that divorce decree. And agreeing not to make it public, well, it meant more to Vicky and me than I can tell you.
Clint, about that agreement.
And I know Tina was part of it. Now, the three of you girls could have gone on fighting for months over that box. But you put family ahead of your personal needs, and who knows, maybe we can be family again.
Thank you. Listen, I would love to talk to you more about this, but I have a television show.
Of course, I won't keep you.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
I did want to extend a personal invitation. I mean, the nice friendship you and Vicky have both been cultivating lately, I know that she'd want you to be there.
Where?
Wedding, of course.
The wedding. Oh, Clint, when?
Tomorrow.
Oh, you want me to be there? I'm so happy for you and for Vicky that of course I will be there. Good. Who knows, maybe I'll catch the bouquet.
Well, I'm counting on it.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for asking me to come.
Okay, excuse me.
Like I said, we're family again.
Dorian, it's all set for your piece on Victor Lord. So if I could...
Thank you very much. Would you go find makeup and tell them that I'm going to need a touch-up here on the set?
Oh, sure. But I need the...
Just please, we do have a show to do, don't we? Thanks. Tell me some more about the ceremony.
You're doing a piece on Victor?
No. You mean because of what he's... Well, in a sense, what I'm doing is a kind of personal recollection.
You're not going back on your promise, are you, Dorian?
No. Oh, my goodness, that's the most solemn vow I've made since girls' camp when we swore it in blood.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, now that we've made such a concerted effort to be friends again, I'd hate to see anything spoil it.
Yes, so would I.
Well, I'll see you at the wedding.
Yes, indeed. And congratulations. I guess I didn't have a chance to say that yet.
Dorian, I have Audrey.
Thank you, really. Thank you very much.
What did I do?
Never mind, you didn't do anything. Clint wants me to keep my word about that promise I made to Vicky.
You mean I went to all that trouble for nothing?
No, you didn't go to all that trouble for nothing. You didn't, because I do have my standards of journalistic integrity. I do, and even if it costs me an invitation to their wedding, even if it costs me their friendship, I'm going to go ahead with it. But why, oh, why did I make that stupid, stupid promise?
Are you ready for me now? Give her a minute, Audrey, all right?
No, it's all right. It's all right. Thanks, Jim. Yes, Audrey. I'm ready.
And where did you spot this particular fox?
A village west of Vienna, Berndorf to be exact. They pick up their mail at this local post office here. They're known as Brad and Jenny Vernon. A husband's face betrays him, though.
And you're sure it's the maestro?
He's Rinaldi, all right.
Rinaldi at last.
It's a small village. I don't think they're going to have any problems to tail him straight to his house.
Be careful, Dietz. If they get wind of you...
No. They won't.
All right. Call me the moment you have the address, and Dietz, don't play hero. Rinaldi is mine.
It's your gamble.
Gentlemen, it's 2 minutes to post time.
If you keep asking questions about me, I'll keep asking them about you.
You have no idea what's at stake here.
Neither do you.
I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about people's lives.
Spare me the violin music. Do we have a deal or don't we?
There was a time I would deck you for what you're trying to do now.
That's your answer.
No. You got your deal. You keep your mouth shut about Bud Van Dyke. I'll do the same for you.
No more questions about my horses?
If there's no more questions about me.
You're a fascinating man, Mr. Van Dyke. I'd really love to know who you really are.
Yeah, and I'd love to know how you dope those horses. But we can't always get what we want, can we?
Like the song says, you get what you need.
Now keep your eyes closed.
Wait a minute. Did you make a portrait of me while I was lying in the hospital?
No. Now, this is a much bigger surprise. I mean, this is going to be one that's going to really make you feel at home. I hope.
Can I open my eyes now?
Yes. Yeah, before you start screaming, I want you to know I didn't want to change your home or you or any part of your life. I just thought if we had a little part of the island, it would remind us of the way things used to be. You hate it. You hate it, don't you? I don't know why I thought it would please you. I just thought we were so happy when we were on the island. Everything was so good between us that this would remind you that it could be that way again. Look, I'll have everything removed by tomorrow.
The hell you will.
What?
Don't you dare touch a piece of this furniture. I love it, like it is.
You mean you really like it, Ace?
Honey, I feel like I'm back in Mala Cave with the shades, too. Come on, honey, nice.
Well, no, if you want, I can have the sofa brought back.
Are you kidding me? I can almost feel the salt air, the ocean spray. I can close my eyes and hear the school bell ring and the kids running by our cottage down the ocean.
It was really some wonderful times there, wasn't it?
Damn, darling, you listen to this. The best times are yet to come.
Well, I'd say welcome home, but somebody beat me to it.
Clint, he likes it.
Likes it? I love it. Is this wife of mine something else or what, huh?
Well, that's what everybody's been trying to tell you, Pa. Look, I don't mean to mess up your homecoming, but I'd like to turn on the TV.
There's nothing on at this hour but Dorian Lord show.
Yes, and nothing is exactly all I hope she has to say.
Pass that by me again.
Well, Pa, Dorian promised Vicky that she wouldn't go public with what was in the box.
Well, if she promised.
Turn the TV on, son. We know what Dorian Lord's promises are worth.
I still don't see how I can help with Herb Callison's campaign.
Oh, it's very simple, Woody. Now, Ace has just been released from the hospital, and I didn't want to approach him directly.
Hold it. You want me to put in a word with Asa on Herb's behalf?
Oh, Herb would really appreciate it. So would I.
You're a very beautiful woman, Maggie, and I've always tried to make it a point to help a beautiful lady in need.
Then I can depend on you?
But what makes you think that Asa is going to support the same man that almost sent his son to prison?
Well, Woody, your boss is a very practical man. And he didn't get to where he is by letting his emotions rule his business sense.
Maybe so, but still.
Well, Herb cannot lose. Asa must have figured that out by now. Now, Ace is the kind of man who needs friends in high places, and he wouldn't want to back the wrong candidate, would he? Would he?
You're something else, Maggie. Go right for the jugular, don't you?
What is it?
The mirror in my compact is broken.
I didn't know you were superstitious.
Well, I'm not. It's just that this is really special to me because Beau gave it to me in Paris and he had my initials engraved on it. It's really the only thing I have that has the initials DB.
We'll get another mirror in.
No, you don't understand. See, this was really important to us, and I can't believe I broke it. I don't know what I did.
It's all right. Don't blame yourself.
I'm really very frightened for him right now. I don't know why I let him go to that place. Why didn't I talk him out of it? I shouldn't have let her...
Now, look. Beau was adamant about wanting to go to help his friend, find his friend. Now, he knows what the score is. He can take care of himself. He's going to be all right.
Why do I have this cold feeling inside of me?
It's called anxiety. It'll pass. Look, Beau is all right. Now, let's change the subject. What about the charming smile of mine? You think the people of Lambview are ready to see it pasted all over every street corner?
If you folks don't mind, a guest at the bar requested her favorite television show.
Oh.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dorian Lord, and welcome to View on Land.
Oh, no.
Oh, I haven't seen this for a long time.
Count your blessings.
Today, I have a very special guest in store for you. The noted...
It's your gamble.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 2 minutes post time.
If you keep asking questions about me, I'll keep asking them about you. You have no...
Noted sex therapist Dr. Gertrude Kornbluth, author of the best-selling book, Was It Good for You? Now, before I bring Dr. Kornbluth out and start taking your calls, and please do remember, we're licensed by the federal government, so keep these calls clean. I have a couple of very important announcements to make. The first concerns a legend here in Lambview, a man who was once a pillar of this community, the late Victor Lord.
Damn it! I knew it. I knew I couldn't trust that woman.
Victor Lord's death did not lessen the impact he had on some of us in the Landview community. As his widow, I was embroiled in the controversy surrounding his previous marriage to Irene Manning. And yes, my dear viewers, I did hear all of those rumors that my late husband had forgotten to divorce Irene Manning before he married me. Well, I'm here to tell you that the reports of my late husband's bigamy were greatly exaggerated. In fact, I have here proof positive that they are totally incorrect. Frank, can we get a close-up of this document? I have here a notarized divorce decree between Victor Lord and Irene Manning. This is proof positive, ladies and gentlemen, that I am legally and morally Mrs. Victor Lord. Now then, some of you may be wondering why I have decided to share this personal news with you on this show. It is because, I'll tell you, it's a matter of integrity to me. There has been a black cloud hovering over many of us in the Lord family, but most particularly that cloud has been over my head and that of my late husband. I hope now that this cloud, this dark shadow has been lifted.
And that woman gave you her word?
Not just me. She practically swore a blood oath with Vicky.
Oh, Clint, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for Vicky. She really put her trust in
And
Dory.
if you don't understand, then I hope that time, that great healer, will help heal us, will work a miracle and bring us closer together again.
I'll tell you something, lady. I'd like to get close to you and tell you what I damn think.
Casey, she can't hear, and Clint's right. We really have to be concerned about Vicky right now.
Well, after this stunt right here, I guarantee you this. Vicky will never listen to another word this woman
I told
says.
you that I had a second announcement to make. The second announcement concerns the upcoming election for district attorney. Now then, WVLE wishes, as a public service, to make an announcement concerning the current atmosphere of voter apathy. Now then, the wisdom would have it that Herb Callison has done such a brilliant job, he's a shoo-in. That is no reason, ladies and gentlemen, to stay home on election day. You have got to make your choice, make it felt at the ballot box. It's the only way. Vote.
She calls that a public service announcement?
Enough about politics.
Why doesn't she just kiss this poster and call it what it is, an endorsement?
Okay, it's a tacky thing for her to do, right? But think about it. Why would Dorian Lord risk her license with such a biased presentation?
I don't know and I don't care.
I'll tell you why. It's because she's running scared. That's why. The Callisons know they're in for a fight, and why is because they know that you have great allies like the Buchanan family.
So, can I count on you, Woody?
Maggie, I don't blame you for wanting to line up Ace on Herb's side. The man has a lot of clout with the media.
Well, then.
From the sound of Dorian's telecast, Herb already has the media on his side.
I think I've had enough of the Dorian Lord show for one day.
I'm telling you, Dorian Lord is not a problem. If you want to worry about somebody, you can start worrying about Connie. I don't understand her half the time.
I don't understand her either.
She was out of town last night. I don't know who she was with. I don't know where she went. Well, this is a joke. I'm not going to get your attention today, obviously.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's no problem. But, you know, why don't you quit staring at her and just go over there and get it out with her once and for all? I'll take a cab home.
No, look, I want to drive you home.
Go talk to the lady, please.
You're right, I am going to talk to a lady. But that lady is Ms. Dorian Lord.
And now here's our very special guest, Dr. Gertrude.
I don't know what's worse. Dorian with a sex therapist or Dorian without one?
I don't know, but you guys make yourself comfortable. I'm going to make some lunch. We're going to have it island style in the living room.
Clint, there's something I've got to tell you.
Pa, if it's about Dorian.
No, it's about Jenny. I got this real inspiration while I was laid up in the hospital.
I know. You said that Brad had taken an ad and put it in the National Intruder.
That's right, but what I didn't tell you, he didn't get anything back from Jenny or David.
I thought you said they had an understanding. That when she sees the ad, that she promised to respond.
That's right, and it's not like Jenny ever to break a promise.
Well, unlike some people we both know, huh? I suppose Brad's very worried about this.
Me too. I think I found a way to maybe track him down.
Well, now, wait a minute, Paul. Before you make any moves, you got to remember that there may be enemy agents looking for David, too.
Well, that's the good thing about my idea. Nobody's going to know what I'm up to. Now, Rinaldi's using Brad's passport and ID, right?
So you tell me?
I'm going to run the passport and the ID number through the computer. It'll tell me the last country they entered. Bingo, we should have no trouble finding them. Good news?
Remind me to do a few extra hours in the target range. It won't be long before we have the Rinaldis in the crosshairs.
Just tell me where they are. I shall take care of both of them.
Oh, no, you won't. I have a personal interest in this case.
Berg, we were talking about revenge. It can lead to mistakes.
It's strictly business, nothing but strictly business. I have a debt to settle with Rinaldi.
I know, but to let it get in the way of...
Nothing will get in my way. Aida York is dead because of Rinaldi, her beauty, her brilliance, her life. All is gone, all is lost. And I've been lost without her. But no longer. I have a purpose now. And David Rinaldi will pay for what he did. And then, finally, Aida will rest in peace.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
Well, we'll have to do this again.
Oh, no, no, no. You're my guest.
Oh, I never fight over checks. It's tacky. Thank you, Maggie.
Well, you know how you can thank me.
What? Here? With everyone watching?
Woody.
Okay, I'll talk to Asa.
Oh, terrific.
But I'm not promising anything. The man goes his own way in his own sweet time. But I'll try to have an answer for you.
I'll be waiting.
Say tomorrow night at dinner?
Mr. Woodward, my. You go for the jugular yourself, don't you?
No, ma'am. There are other parts of the anatomy that interest me more.
I have a confession to make. I was interested in you even before we were introduced.
Well, I have a certain reputation in some circles.
It was your movie.
Backfire?
Uh-huh.
You saw it?
Twice.
You mean you liked it?
I sat through it twice. I must have liked it.
Wow. Why aren't you doing reviews on the TV?
Well, I just wanted you to know you had a fan.
Hey, thanks. You do too.
I better be getting back to the courthouse. They're probably wondering where I am. Till tomorrow night, then?
Yeah, well, what time do you want me to pick you up?
Oh, I don't know. Just call. You won't forget, will you?
Are you kidding?
Bye-bye.
Bye. So, your date took a powder too, huh?
Business?
Yeah, mine too. Aren't you glad you're above all that petty stuff like politics and money?
But I'm not.
Neither am I. Well, want to ride home?
Oh, that'd be great. Thanks, Woody.
Okay, I'll go tell him to get the car.
Oh, Woody,
Yeah?
look, I know it's none of my business, but you know, your luncheon date today, I was,
Yeah, you're right. It's none of your business.
so it was strictly personal.
I wish. I mean, I would have been very happy to stare into those big brown eyes, but lawyers don't hold hands. They hold conferences.
She seemed very interested in you.
Maybe, but maybe she just wanted to find out if I really could connect her with Asa.
Asa? What does she want with Asa?
What else? His money. Not to mention his name and influence. Ah, it's all for some lousy election.
Wait, she thinks that Asa's going to support Herb Callison?
She not only thinks that, she is not going to take no for an answer.
Oh, this is going to be really interesting.
Maybe I shouldn't have told you.
No, I'm glad that you did. But you know what? You can tell Ms. Delakian something for me. That if Asa does support the opposition, that I know someone who can match his contributions dollar for dollar.
Oh, yeah? Who's that?
You're looking at her. Mrs. Bo Buchanan.
Thank you, Larry, Frank. Appreciate it.
Great show, Dorian, and the piece about you and Victor Lord. All right, go ahead and say, I told you so.
I told you so. I promise, though, I won't gloat.
We really have missed you around here. You know, the phones haven't stopped ringing since we went off the air.
Yes. Well, when I came back to WVLE, I promised that, well, though we might not make friends all the time, we were going to make people sit up and take notice.
That they have. That they have. And the way the calls are running, the whole town's on your side.
I don't know about the whole town. There may be one couple that won't call and congratulate me. They may even call and say don't bother coming to our wedding. Oh.
Dorian?
Pete. Well, what brings you here? I believe that you've met my producer, Jim Watson.
Yes, I have. I hope you have a little time for a fan.
Mr. O'Neill, we met at the Buchanan trial. You did one heck of a job.
Thank you very much.